the time
Because
and
you can give
everything.
the recap when no one else can, and your character's most likely to remember shit. So you would force to do recap.
I would say no one else can, but like we all have our different perspective.
I'm just gonna read
You
out.
can all
I'm
do
just
it,
gonna
you
read
can
out my
all do it,
journal.
if you prefer.
I'm just gonna read out from my journal because, like, I would otherwise just be looking through the journal for what to say. So
Try to
I may as
rephrase
well
it.
That's
just
a cool
read
way
it
to
out.
like slash one. You can do a voice recording, Chris, of the entire previous journal, and then at the end, we'll
Who's
have our
leaning
audiobook
in?
of the journal.
In the last episode of...
Yeah, we listened to like 2 hours of the journal.
Alright, wait, I'll do the voiceover. In the last episode of Tomb of Annihilation.
Well, here we are in Chult. I had not expected that accepting Lady Sylvain's offer would lead to her transporting us immediately to Port Nyanzaru. I barely had time to introduce myself to the others that her ladyship has found for this venture, but fortunately we were able to spend the afternoon getting to know each other. Zeno is a furbolg, a rather quiet sort of fellow with a methodical nature and a clear love for nature. He seems very sensible and will certainly be more at home exploring the forests of Chult than the rest of us. Richard tells me that he is an Aasimar, a sort of quasi-celestial human apparently. Which celestial he gained his heritage from is apparently a mystery, but nevertheless he seems a good enough person. Alcamenos is a Triton from the depths of the ocean, and his odd manner of behavior betrays how delightfully different their culture must be from the common surface civilizations. For example, according to Alcamenos, in Triton society it is traditional to toast after drinking. It will be my pleasure to learn more of his people while we are traveling together. With luck, his gregarious nature will aid in this endeavor. And to think I had expected to draw most of my anthropological research from the people of Chult itself. I wonder where her ladyship found so many interesting people. The task we've been given is broader than I had imagined, but thankfully it allows for near limitless opportunities to explore this vast and interesting land. We are to discover all we can about the elusive Soulmonger, an evil artifact that Sindra Sylvain and the mysterious Harpers believe is the cause of the curse of death that has seemingly enveloped the entire world. We spent the afternoon and evening meeting with various self-proclaimed jungle guides to see if any of them had heard of this Soulmonger, but it seems that none have. Still, we learned a lot from talking to them, and in the morning we will have to discuss carefully which, if any of them, we trust to lead us out into Chult. Lady Sylvain is being hosted by Wakanga Otamu, a local trade prince, while the rest of us have found beds tonight at the Thundering Lizard, a very lively establishment. When we visited him to report to Sylvain on our progress, Mr. Otamu told us about a type of magical construct called a shield guardian named Vaughn that was lost in the jungle. He gave us the journal of Vaughn's old master, giving the approximate location where it was found and asking us to see if we could find Vaughn for him. I don't expect we shall get around to it, but we promise to try if we get the chance anyway. On our way back, a stranger in the street collapsed against Richard and told him in a slightly manic tones to speak to the wise guardian of Orolunga, west of Mbala. The man seemed quite mad, and afterwards professed no recollection of having said anything to us at all. It sounds like lunacy to me, but I've made a note here just in case it should prove more meaningful. Finally, as if the day had not been exciting enough, I spent the last of my evening drinking with a fellow named Volo Gadam, a fellow anthropologist with experience in Chult and an interest in monster culture. He told me all about the interesting customs of Chult's goblin population and had a few other interesting factoids about the continent too. Apparently, Snapping Turtle Bay is home to giant snapping turtles, including a particularly mighty specimen named King Toba with gems in his shell. There is an endemic blue-tinged mist that apparently spreads maddening fever and should be avoided at all costs. 3. There was once a great green dragon in Chult, and her bones mark a secret treasure trove. And I'm not sure if I got this down right, Ian, but I only heard this bit once. But I think it was from Mesro, go east across the Laughing Gorge, then south to Kursabal, and you should find them. And then 4, to avoid earning the ire of the Flaming Fist, it might be worth acquiring an exploration charter before heading out into the jungle. My heart is ready to burst with excitement. Who knows what tomorrow will bring?
Oh, such an innocent, sweet boy.
Such an innocent kid. Okay, and you guys all had gone to sleep at the inn, which was called the Laughing Something. Excellent, excellent. Okay. What time?
I think it was called the Laughing Something.
Wasn't it?
The lizards or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Haunting lizards.
Yeah.
bad. Okay. Okay. So you guys all went to bed, and you were like sharing rooms. What, who wakes up first? What happened in the morning? That kind of stuff. What are you guys up to? Did you all do anything in the night, or did you all sleep like good boys?
I slept like a good boy unless
Nice.
something happens.
I also slept like a
Same.
good boy.
Good work, good boys. Okay. So, yeah. What time do people start heading down? That kind of stuff. Do you have any sort of morning rituals?
Do we have a
or
balcony?
Considering this is the first morning. You do not have a balcony.
I didn't pay that much for these rooms.
You do not have a balcony.
Maybe just start the practice here.
I wake like with the earliness of a diligent person, but not someone who like has to wake up early to do like to milk the cows or whatever. So I'd probably like like a reasonable hour, like 7, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I would wake up pretty early as well. I've been living in pretty dangerous lands.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a
Yeah,
sound
same.
of the city getting going would.
Yeah, exactly. You hear it.
I've slept with like relative solitude, but it's like listening to the background noise now. Like having
Yeah,
slept with
chickens.
relative solitude most of my life. Like this would work and get me up and about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll get up early. Hope that Zeno's awake. I don't know if Zeno.
I think I would wake up before you.
Cool. Would you still be here, or would you be gone?
No, because I would go early for a. I would definitely go early for a walk.
He's not just sitting
That's
on the
what
edge of his
the
bed
dinosaur
staring at
is.
you. Like
Well, you could just be like reading a book or something, be on a holiday. All right, no.
Someone that has a -1 to intelligence isn't gonna just read a book.
I might do.
You might read it very slowly.
No,
Yeah.
That's like slightly below average. It's like I'm sure there's people.
Yeah,
still
I'm
read
sure
books.
you read books in your lifetime.
Fucking got you.
In that case, I'll go for
He's sitting on the end of the bed reading a manga.
Okay.
the latest One Piece.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'll go for a quick swim.
You'll do what?
But go for a quick swim, but only in the bay.
Okay. Only in the bay. Okay.
Not gotta go visit your friend again.
Like it's a bit interesting, but when you go for the swim, like last time it was quite dark, so weren't getting any attention. So now like people giving you some strange looks, like no one actually is like stopping you or going up to like talk.
Yeah, no, I'll take my time. Like as I reach the dock edge, I'll like take off my cloak and like I'm gonna do like some stretches, some just like enjoying the sun, just look at people.
Very assuming. Okay.
Well, okay, it's a fucking jungle. Is it raining?
No, it's okay. It's not bad. Bit
Okay.
cloudy, but still.
It's
Yeah.
not monsoon season yet, huh?
Would you even
It's better than you certainly get at the bottom of the ocean. So like
That's true. Wait.
And after a minute, I grab my huge trident and dive in.
Okay. Yeah, so you do get again some strange looks, but no one is like, complaining or asking what you're up to. So while he's swimming, what the rest you up to?
Well, if everyone else is going for a walk, I don't know about Richard yet.
I'll probably grab something to eat.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be downstairs with Richard, getting breakfast.
Yeah.
And I also want to acquaint myself with the general people, especially anyone who looks interesting. But more, I just want to talk to people around about and to acquire knowledge local, basically. Like
Acquire knowledge local.
just general knowledge about like the place and gather information.
Okay. So yeah, this is quite an interesting place because like there are quite a lot of adventurers and explorers who come to Chult, but it's quite it's like the new land, the new world to explore in a lot of ways for some people. So there's quite a lot of like travelers here. So yeah, if you want to have a chat with them and talk, so let's say you spend maybe an hour doing this.
Sure.
Okay, so if you spend an hour, you can make a DC 15 Wisdom Insight check.
Wisdom insight.
Like there's
Nice.
rules for this.
Yeah. Like gathering rumors in Chult.
Oh, 15! He's done it, lads!
Alright, roll a D100, Chris.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wait, do I GR this or no?
You can.
No.
It's up to you,
It's
but
like-
it doesn't
it's
give you
a
much
percentile,
information.
nice.
The actual one.
22. Check them dubs.
Okay, roll again, but you've had that rumor.
What? 3.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shit roll.
Okay, so this one you hear from like an explorer who apparently is quite. It looks like after talking to them, they quite recently come back from the jungle. They were with a couple of other people, but one of them had had enough, too dangerous for them, so they decided to return. And they said that apparently some bird folk inhabit a monastery that hangs on the side of a plateau many miles up the Olong River, past the Laughing Gorge. I can copy and paste it so you could.
Oh, thank God.
And apparently the bird folk are holding the last royal heir of Chult as their prisoner.
Bastards.
Those
Again,
bastards.
all these rumors, like, it's hard to tell if they're, like, you know, some
Yeah,
sort of
okay.
myth or
What
something.
I love about this is like I'm approaching these people with like the expectation of like I want to find out like what people eat around here, or, like what the good places to check out in the city. No, I know, I love it because like it's like I'm like telling them and someone's like, yeah, I heard that the bird folk have the heir to the throne of the thunder people. And I'm like, oh,
I mean, if you want to get, I can give you some more.
but like I mean, yeah, like no, I mean, like if I
stuff,
can
like,
just
what people eat and everything like that.
if I can just like passively kind of have like a bit
Yeah.
more, having spoken to people, a bit more
Yeah.
knowledge about like what Port Nyanzaru is like. Yeah, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah,
really.
of course. Like,
And
if
I
you have any
definitely,
kind of, like,
I'm definitely interested in these things. Like if someone starts telling me,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like I'm going to tell them to stop. I'm dutifully
But it's
right
not like
to
you're
do that.
asking them
But it's
about
like,
the jungle.
yeah,
You're asking
it's
them
just,
about
it's just
Port
funny that I
Nyanzaru.
get. It's funny that I kind of get this information.
But so you're asking more
yeah.
about the port or more about
Well,
like,
no, but
Chult
like,
in general?
Yeah, but like I mean, just like kind of less like secret knowledge and more just like general knowledge.
Yeah,
You know.
these people like Harry, like they're quite happy, but you know, all these people
Yeah.
kind of like explorers, and they're kind of, you know, like this is what they like, right? It's like, you know, talking
Sure.
to fellow adventurers.
Yeah.
Generalizations.
Yeah, exactly.
I like.
All this person, Jacko, is.
I mean, I'm not complaining. Like I get the information. That'll be useful.
But yeah, if you like, so in general, like the people of Portland, it's like obviously it's a huge trade city, so like you feel there's like a lot of kind of people. The native
Yeah.
Chultans eat. I mean, like in terms of what food they eat, there's a lot of like fruit that is almost like kind of native to Chult, so you might not know around here. So you know, even at breakfast times, you may be eating some of that.
Okay.
Yeah. As you know, they eat a lot of
Brilliant.
dinosaur kind of stuff.
Ooh.
There's a lot of sort of like
Can I get a dinosaur steak?
yeah, for breakfast it might be a bit unusual, but if you ask for one, it can.
I've had steak for breakfast before.
Okay, yeah, but again, it is
Only because you've had it.
steak for breakfast.
I've had like I've been in America where like most hotels serve steak for breakfast, so you know maybe
Well,
it's one of
Fucking
those.
weirdos. Fucking weirdo America.
Steak and eggs is a man's breakfast. You shut the
Okay,
fuck up.
if you want to ask a guy for steak and eggs,
No, If they're not, if there's, I don't see anybody else eating dinosaur steak. Because
No,
I'd probably like look around
it's
and
more
pick
like a
something that's
continental, bit,
interesting.
more
and-
like fruit.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe some dinosaur sausages.
Maybe it's hard to have the dinosaur for some
Okay,
stuff, you know.
so but I get my tidbit of information as well as the other stuff after an hour or so.
Yeah.
And I tell and everyone else around. I share it with them as well. But I'll go over to Richard and let him know. And oh, I guess I was doing character. I tell him, Richard, did you know that birdfolk inhabit a monastery that hangs on the side of a plateau many miles up the Olong River past the Laughing Gorge? And the birdfolk are holding the last royal heir of Chult as their prisoner.
Roll an insight check.
They're bird folk.
He's just like, he gets all that. He gets caught up on the birdfolk. He's like, there's birdfolk.
Suspicious.
Indeed. Somewhere, apparently. I don't know where the Olong River or the Laughing Gorge are. You couldn't get the map out, could you?
Not here.
Yeah, I suppose not.
But still, it might be a thing to see at some point if we get
Yes,
Isn't
we
that-
just have to
venturing, gets our clothes. Gets got us
Oh,
close.
so that's the other thing I would have done at some point last night. Ian, is my own personal handmade world map that I have. I would have taken our Chult map, and obviously not to the same level of DL because it's like it'd be like I don't know, a quarter or a fifth of the size on my map that it would be on a dedicated map, but like copy the shape of Chult down because at the moment my fucking Chult on my map is basically like an oblong and an approximate area of ocean with the words like Chult ? Written across it. So like I erase all that and get like a much more accurate representation of Chult and like the major landmarks down on my world map.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, like if you're just like only worried about, are you like trying to do it all to like scale and accurately, or just? Like,
So like this can be the work of like this can be a progress of some time.
Sure.
But like yeah, I mean I don't take the full level of detail because obviously there's not enough space on my
Yeah,
map.
No,
You know, Port Nyanzaru would be labeled and so on.
yeah, that's fine.
Great, cool, excellent. So okay, yeah, we'll compare it to the map later to look for the Olong River and the Laughing Gorge and so on.
So Alchemenots, at some point while they're eating, I'm assuming you return. You said you went for like a quick swim, yeah? So
Yeah,
probably
did
not-
nobody stole my dirty rag, I hope?
No, no one saw your dirty bag.
Nice.
That's all you
Like
know.
other people have added dirty rags to the pile of dirty rags.
You sort of just, you know,
They're just like,
Ooh,
oh,
I'll
look, it's a
just,
pile
I'll
of
just,
dirty
I'll
rags.
just, I'll just like pick and choose then.
no, it's okay.
I'll return to the inn.
Okay. Yeah, you guys see Alchemenots head in, skin still, you know, glistening. With
Yeah, I've been dripping.
He's been dripping a little bit, you know. Get some annoyed looks from the bartender.
Ah, Alchemanos, been for a morning swim, have you?
Good morning. Indeed, our time at the ocean will be swiftly over, so I want to appreciate it as I can, and I kind of like lovingly glance over.
Of course. I suppose that's rather like your equivalent for a morning stroll,
I suppose.
which is what we would, which would be our equivalent of a morning swim. Here, have some fruit.
Okay.
I
I'll
like
take some
offer a
fruit.
banana.
Yeah, I'll sit down, white-legged with my trident in one hand and eat some fruit.
Nice.
do you peel the banana or do you just?
I mean, if you don't tell me to peel the banana, I won't peel the banana. I'm kind of crossy, but you know, I have high constitution, so.
You're like halfway through and you like look over at me watching you open mouth with like a peeled banana in my hand.
They have peeled their bananas in here.
See if I can roll an int save.
Save, yeah, definitely a save, not check. You know, so you went for a walk at Will?
Who?
Did you?
Me?
Zeno.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, did you? I
Wait,
forget.
who's you?
You're Zeno, right? That's your character's name.
Well, but you didn't actually say Zeno, I don't think.
Yeah, I thought-
There was lots of yous, but no.
He said
Zeno.
I think he said he woke up and went for a stroll, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, how long
Stroll
was
down
it?
to the guy down to the dinosaurs, and then like I don't know how far to the left. There's more like trees and shit. I would be around the trees a little bit, and then I would.
Okay, you're just hanging out there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a little
It's
bit.
like, you notice, like, instinctively, like, quite fast out, you get to, like, 100, or, you know, like, just
Oh, yeah,
close to the
I
streets,
enjoy
100 feet away from, like, you know, the main, like,
Yeah.
house and stuff. Like, you start to quite quickly, like, hear, you know, the sounds of, like, jungle. Like, not, like, loud racing, but, you know, you hear more animals and more kind of birds and,
Yeah, I like sit a bit and like enjoy the sounds of
but,
nature, and then come back
mhm.
after a little bit.
By the way, you gave me your money, right? Did you only have the 50 gold?
Yes.
Okay.
Has anyone else have been to the? I don't know. You might not. I feel like I'm asking this from a privileged London position, but has anyone else ever been to something called the Rainforest Cafe? Do they have those anywhere else?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
It's like a chain. I know there's like one in like New York and
Fucking
stuff.
shit.
There's it's a cafe. It's like a restaurant basically where everything is like they got it's rainforest decor basically, and there's like an animatronic alligator or crocodile or whatever. And I'm just like sitting here like my entire like impression of what this campaign is like is coming from my time spent in the rainforest.
Oh,
I have no idea what actual rainforest is like beyond that.
it looks like a treasure cove.
yeah, good. Okay, so you head back, and so eventually all for you are, you know, I'm assuming eating some breakfast. Are you?
Yeah, and I share like my acquired knowledge with everyone about the bird folk and the monastery and the air of Chult.
I kinda like
I
tilt
didn't
my
even know
head.
Chult had a royal heir.
We have knowledge of many princes. How does this? This does not make any
I think
sense.
the trade princes are more of a mercantile role rather than any kind of titled nobility. I think it's simply a reference to their vast wealth and resources.
But then, who rules this island?
I'm not certain, but whoever their heir is, they're being held prisoner by the bird folk. Presumably that the heir's father or mother. I would just guess. I don't know whom they are or what race they may be.
Just know they're caught.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do know. Did I asked someone here?
Wait, what's that? You asked them if.
Like, so when I guess I would have asked that of the person when
Yeah.
when I found out about the last royal heir, because I didn't even know there was royalty in Chult. So I'd have asked, is there a king of Chult or a queen of Chult?
He said that there once was a city that was like the jewel
Ah.
found, so to say, but it was
Ah,
over rich minerals, but over like a long time it's been lost to the jungle,
Okay.
and no maps that still show the location.
Okay, so yes, I believe the royal lineage has faded with the decline of the great jungle civilization that was once rich and prosperous.
Ah, it is like us then. We have a king, but the council rules most things.
Yeah, he would have said
a
like
titular monarchy rather than a
princes, who are
yeah.
Because in reality, Portland is like the only real kind of lost civilization aspect
Yes.
left.
So the merchant princes are a circle of wealthy and powerful businessmen who conspire to control events in and around Port Nyanzaru, I suppose, by their immense combined influence.
And securing
And-
their income.
And securing their income, exactly. And as for the rest of Chult, I suppose it's ruled by whoever happens to be standing there. The goblin tribes will have their chiefs, and the bird folk will presumably have some sort of leader, but apart from that, who knows what's out there?
And I kind of like look around, and in my too loud voice, I say, "I have decided I do not trust these people, but I would like to put my trust in you."
Well,
Good-
if you could see your way clear to extending that trust a little further, and I get out the flyers, we do need to consider which guide, if any, we should be.
I'll hold up a hand as I say, "But I have not put my trust in you yet. I would want to know what brings you on this mission." And I look to each of you.
I look between Zeno and Richard.
Hunch.
Yes, how to gain someone's trust.
Hey, you know, it felt like a voice.
I felt like I would regret it if I did not go on this, if I did not accept this quest. So I did. There is not much else to it.
Instincts, then.
You could say that, yes.
Alright, it kind of like nods as if you respect so.
Oh no, actually, this canonically works well.
And I wanted to explore more forest chunks.
Well,
Uh,
it would appear you come to the right place then.
Yes,
so.
it was very, very fortunate how you agreed to Lady Sylvain's request and ended up in the middle of a jungle. You could have ended up anywhere. Personally, I just want to see interesting parts of the world and write about them. And I guess like this is the point where I get out my journal and say, I'm following in my father's footsteps to document interesting places and cultures and my experiences there. This is I've written a tome about my time with the elves, the giants, and the goblins, and this is the journal I'm writing for my time here in Chult.
He's not even registering the last part. He's like looking worried between you guys. And like, so you're here to explore. Are you not afraid of battle? Are you not afraid of the dangerous nature of this jungle?
No.
Will you not flee at the first sight of an enemy?
No.
I'd rather stand behind someone, but I will not flee.
I mean,
You get a raised eyebrow.
I'll admit I'm not.
I can't take that many hits.
Yeah, I kind of look at you, you squishy nature. And,
Kind of,
Fucking weaklings, right, Jack?
I kind of look vaguely put off by the idea of taking, plural hits. I say, well, I can't say I'm much of a battle-hardened veteran, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty if the occasion should arise. Although hopefully there won't need to be too much of that. I normally manage to talk my way out of most situations, or run away.
I think the jungle will not prove viable for your kind of persuasion.
Well, you never know. I can't wait to meet these stacking goblins.
let us make an agreement then, Kat. You will protect me
Racist.
in this city where I'm out of my depth, and I will protect you in the jungle.
Certainly. That sounds very reasonable.
I-
Now, if I
I-
could draw your attention to these flyers.
I'm looking at my hand like uncertainly, like this is a custom you people do, right? And like extend it.
I
kinda look
extend
at
my
it.
paw.
Alright.
I don't know. I think I have fingers, right? I must have fingers. Like,
I just-
I could raise a bow. I could
But
raise
my
a bow, but-
my only other experience with shaking hands is with the dwarf, so I just instead of shaking it, I just crush it, or try to.
Ooh, okay. Yes. Very, very strong grip there. I kind of massage my paw.
I believe we ought to decide which guide we are going to choose. The map will be necessary to get a good picture of what we're talking about. So should we retire to one of the rooms to speak of this?
Are the gnome and the human here? that were here
No,
yesterday?
not seem to have made it down yet.
I just look at the others.
That comes to mind every time.
You said the bow and arrow, you're just holding it, the string gets pulled back, like... Okay, so does anyone take Richard's suggestion to, like...
I look around and I say, I think we're safe enough here. No one seems to be paying us undue attention.
And then I'll look around. Is anybody?
Is anyone paying us undue attention? Ooh. I will. I mean, like, I'm saying it before I've actually looked, but yeah, it's fine, guys.
It doesn't look like anyone's paying any undue attention.
Yeah, no
What
undue
do I have to
attention.
roll perception?
If you're all looking around to see if anyone's
Oh,
actually...
Richard, the suspicious one.
I have advantage for some reason. Wait, did we level up, Ian? I guess we didn't, right?
You did not level up.
Because Ian forgot to think about it.
Very optimistic.
No,
there.
I remember thinking about it last time, and I was like...
He said, because I remember I left and you hadn't decided whether or not we'd leveled up yet.
Yeah, we never heard anything about it.
Because he
Wait a
forgot to
second.
think about it.
Sky, do you like? I should. If you
Why
did,
does someone have
you,
advantage?
On accident, I'm sorry.
it's 15. Like,
No, none of you guys see anybody who seems to be suspicious or staring at you.
like, did you like sketch down the map in our room? Because I had the real map, so you must have also.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would have done it in the room.
Yeah. Then, actually, let's use your map then, Sky.
Yeah, but actually, no, that's fair. It's like, it's not the same detail, but it's like, it'll be a much smaller, so it'll be easier to kind of huddle around the table without everyone else seeing it. So, yeah, okay, so it takes a minute because I've got this huge, like, massive 2 meter by 2 meter world map that I'm doing. So, like, it has to be folded down to, like, the correct section and then, got out on the table.
Section F16.
But yeah, I fold it down to, have a sort of rectangle with, Chult on it.
Okay,
And
just
I put
make
it on
it
the
easier.
table.
I'm going to put you on like the image of the
Nice.
map.
Nice.
So you got it. You get to look at the actual map without actually having the actual map out. Well done, guys. Good one.
No, right now I'm looking at this low resolution while it loads. It's exactly like looking at my map.
But I would get you had like the biggest landmarks, like the fire finger and stuff on, like at least dotted out.
There we go. Missing a piz. Okay, you guys on it.
There we go. Okay, so there's Mesro, Gorge, Kurtabal. Okay, Bones. Ooh, it's not even that far away. You got the treasure, guys.
Do you know the scale on this, by the way?
Bala,
One
One
hex is 1 day?
So not that far. Yeah, 1 hex. You can choose slightly different moving speeds, but on average, 1 hex is 1 day.
Oh, cool.
You can like choose move fast or slow.
Wait, 1 hex is how long?
a day of travel, basically.
Ooh.
It's 10
Yeah,
miles.
this is no small Barovia. This is big boy man.
Yeah, this is. This
Do we
is a
have, like-
big place.
Is there a
that
deadline?
explains the 30 days.
Is our deadline just how long Syndra stays alive or something? Or like, do we...
What's how? You don't know exactly. She said like, maybe on the order of months, but not fully. Maybe.
Okay, a few months, okay.
Months ago.
Few. Okay.
Guys, I have a feeling. Guys, I have a feeling. Huh?
We cannot go further than this without having to pay more than the 30 days. We can't afford any more than the 30 days.
What do you mean? That's 50. That's 15
Go.
days.
Go for one of the free
You're
ones.
doing
Yeah,
like
but
10
we gotta go back as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're like 30 like 30 days out into the jungle. We're just like to the guide, like, right, we're not employing you anymore, and we just follow them back to Port Nyanzaru anyway. Okay, so we get the map out, and I'm looking for. I don't see the Olong River, do I?
Is it just made out of tea? So
like
curious.
like it's no. I mean, no, it's not on the. It wasn't already written on the map.
Yeah. The Laughing Gorge. Wait, was the Laughing Gorge the one where we head east?
What's that? Laughing Gorge one where you
Yeah,
head
go from
Oh,
Mesro
from
go
your
east
thing,
across
yeah,
the
yeah.
Laughing Gorge. So from Mesro go east. So this has to be the Laughing Gorge. So hang on. The Birdfolk Monastery hangs on a plateau many miles up the Olong River, past the Laughing Gorge. So I guess this is the Laughing Gorge. So up the river this must be the Olong River, and up the river will be like over here somewhere, I guess.
Okay.
What I kind of wanted to
The
say, guys,
center
was
of the island.
once we start going, we're just gonna keep going. We ain't coming back, boys.
Yeah. But like in terms of marking locations of interest. So
I was
Wait, so
listening.
you believe that to be okay?
so yeah, I
Okay,
think.
it's not that. Ian has explained to us that it's not correct place. Good.
Sounds about right. No, but this is, we know this is the gorge. This is, this sounds like the river.
Hmm?
Makes sense to me because it's not this river. It's not this river or this river. So how could it not be this river?
How do you know?
How do I know what?
He got told where. Okay. He got told something was down the river, and we see where that thing is on the map.
I cannot look at it. I can provide food from the river if there's fish. How do we
I can hunt.
sustain ourselves?
If there is well, stuff you can eat in the forest, I can find it.
I have hunted before.
Alright.
Never in a forest or jungle, mind you, but the principle
I'm-
is sound.
Most of my experience is at ice fishing, and I doubt that will very helpful in the jungle.
I kind of gaze at the peaks of flame and I say, no, probably not.
Though my general survival skills are not
Yes,
that terrible.
I can find food. I can find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 other people each day. Provided
Hey.
I offer stuff.
If it's
Yeah.
I didn't hear shit. Anyway,
Def.
so where was this wise guardian that we heard about last night?
Why are you clicking on my character sheet, Ian?
I was looking at the
I
wording
see.
or something.
I see you.
Provided the land offers. Okay, cool.
If this land doesn't offer freaking water and fresh food, then
We're gonna eat a lot of dinosaur boys.
Oh, didn't mean to click that. God damn it.
Thanks, Tom.
Excellent
Are
memory
you
from
drawing
maps.
that on the map, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of like rough
Why are
estimated
you
stuff on
making
my
a
map.
mouse, Chris? It looks like a mouse.
Those are kind of like a mouse.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
let's see here. I need to go to.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Where was the wise guardian?
The
Yeah,
Wise
but-
Guardian. Yes, the speak to the Wise Guardian in Oralunga, west of Imbala.
So somewhere around. Oh wait, I can't click on this thing. Somewhere around here.
Yes, good point. I put so I draw a circle on the map. There, freehand, Kadoom, and then text, Patrick hand, Oralunga.
I asked generally to the table, what of the guides, which do you favor?
Let's go through them all again then.
I can't remember shit anymore.
So we have Azaka. She was the one who.
She's the first one, yes.
Yeah,
Or
I
no,
just quick
she's
show.
the.
I did quick show.
Once she wants to go to Firefinger. That's
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
She wants to go to Firefinger and defeat the evil Petrofolk to recover a wooden mask for her. And in that case, she would be.
cheaper to employ.
Yes.
And she also saw a map, which we should take into account.
Yes. She professed to know nothing of the Soulmonger, however, right?
Yes, correct.
Or was she the one that showed undue interest? Or was that someone else?
No, that
was
wasn't
only
she.
guessing him. It was she didn't know, but she sounded.
That was Salida. Yeah.
Selena was the one who was like didn't know.
Hiding
but
something.
seemed like
No,
she-
I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know, but like I was like, but maybe she does. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys thought she was hiding something. Yep.
So I say, I have no
Ian has
idea
become,
where.
on the stream, by the way.
Oh, we know where Firefinger is. Oh, the camera position swap.
You,
Yeah.
the fire finger
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah,
specifically,
shit.
she said she wasn't sure
That's
exactly,
indeed.
but she hasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
used your map. But
We
she
know
said it was
roughly
around
where
there.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I say so. Firefinger isn't that far away. If we were to, for example, want to follow the river Tiriki, I like reading off my map. The river Tiriki, far enough that we could eventually cross over and follow the Olong River up the Laughing Gorge. Firefinger would seem to be relatively in a reasonable area to make that our journey, if that were a possible route.
If we wish to help her and then go to the Birdfault Monastery. If that is the plan.
And we even know that there's possibly the bones of a dragon near to Kursabal. Can I
That
point my
is-
finger at it? It just seems to be a lot in that direction. Since we're striking out almost at random, it would make sense to go where we've heard there's a lot of things.
To the west, there's also Vaughan, together with
Yes.
Lunga and.
That's
How about
true.
that?
But that wouldn't take us anywhere near where Azaka wants to go, so
That
let's
is true.
perhaps move down the list. Eku? Eku, yes, she wants to rid the jungle of evil.
Yeah, she had someone. Yes. What specific quest did she have? What
She did not
specific-
have any specific quest.
Nothing?
She was one who, because you guys should all remember, but it was like yesterday.
She was like, yeah, that sounds like a good mission, getting rid of an evil artifact or something.
Yeah, she also said she hadn't heard exactly what artifact, but she'd heard a location which seemed to make sense for it to be in.
Didn't she have someone that we could talk to? She,
No,
was
no,
one-
that
was
was
that the
no,
person?
that was Azaka. Azaka said she had
Okay,
like someone
Azaka.
someone in the jungle, right? That she knew She said
Azaka said,
might know about the evil artifact.
Azaka told you to go speak with the wise guardian of Urlunga.
Oh, did she? Ooh, I
Yes.
didn't make that connection, but I would have totally made that connection.
But I mean that she literally said those things. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I didn't write down exactly. She said the wise guardian of Orlung.
Oh, Lunga.
Yeah, that's the same. That's
Oh, Lung
priest
River.
person.
Okay, well that makes that's interesting. Eku just professed a general desire to rid the world of evil, I think. You want to give her money to charity and so forth.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certain a capable guide, but where would we go with her? To Orlunga? Possibly.
Probably.
It sounds reasonable.
Yes. What about the dwarfs?
I walk over to the bar master and I order 4 ales.
Ales. Okay, not head. Okay, fine. Still like a
Oh, well, I get just 4 drinks, I guess what I would just say.
4 drinks. Kind of like looks to me like Tejoke.
Yeah, I remember that name. I'll just nod. Yes.
Okay, he's a 16 copper.
I'll just walk back to the table and just put down the glasses and sit.
I mean, he doesn't hand them over until after you pay. Like, he didn't just pouring them and then ask for money as he pours them. Was he's like doing it like that'd be 16 copper. Just looks at you.
I look over at Richard.
Are we?
Kind of looks
I
at me,
come over.
He's noticed you when he's like, money friend. Kind of does this. Like,
I come
just-
over and give him 2 silvers.
okay. He kind of like, like grunts in appreciation and then lets you take the.
I thank you.
I say, well, I wasn't overly enamored, I'll admit, with Hugh Hackenstone, or for that matter, Farrell and Gondolo, the charlatans. I say, starting a no pile. Musharib was more interesting though, but let's see, what did he want? Where did he say? Volcanic
He wanted to
Russian
say, yeah, he wanted to either get a gauntlet or rid the forge of.
Ah, that's
Fine.
albino dwarf.
Yeah,
Wasn't there?
Krakamar, which is where? Did he say anything about where it is?
I don't believe so. Like, you didn't
I
have your
don't-
mouth
yeah,
facing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned it and he talked
Yeah.
about it.
If you love dwarven kind, I mean,
I
Who
would
doesn't?
suppose it's in one of the
I'd
at least close to one of the volcanoes.
I'd sooner go with Azaka or Eku with that than Musharib though, even though I don't have anything particularly against him.
Fair enough.
River Mist and Flask of Wine wanted
Equal share and
so only 4 gold a day and
And-
equal share, but didn't seem the most reliable tight.
No. I would agree.
I kind of just I turn to Zeno in case he wants to kind of comment at all.
Tom, that's you.
And then I turn back to Richard. Say,
Sorry, what?
so no pile then.
You do not trust your own folk?
He's just like yeah, he's just kind of there. I say
Sorry, I like distracted for a moment there.
I don't trust or distrust anyone based on anything other than having met them. My folk are just as trustworthy or untrustworthy as anyone else.
I believe we should go with the ones that don't charge their outrageous fee.
And I didn't trust Salida either. So I kind of look between Azaka and Eku.
Wait, what?
They both want a 30-day payment up front, so if we want to avoid paying anything up front, perhaps River Mist and Flask of Wine would be the ones to go with.
Well, our good one was you don't have to pay her either if you help her with.
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
It's not-
Or
I say, although
aid
we could,
Azaka,
yes,
yeah.
Oh.
we could head up. If we go with Azaka, we could simply head up the River Turiki and visit Firefinger along the way, and then continue up the Olong River, as was first outlined. It would involve paying no fee up front, simply 5 gold per day. And it's a route towards things we know exist anyway. It does take us rather far from the wise guardian of Oralunga.
When she mentioned like waiving a fee, that was like the 5 gold day as well. Like she just wouldn't.
Oh, it's like there's
until
nothing at all.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no, it's free, yeah.
Okay, well,
Like
then,
she will
yeah.
waive her fee if you.
Sounds-
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
If the woman wants no payment for removing evil, then I am all for it.
Agreed.
Does seem to make sense. She knows the way through the jungle, could guide us. She has something she wants to visit that's on the same route as a lot of the things we want to, that we've heard about, are of interest. She seems a perfect match.
And if we need her in the future, she knows the location of Orlunga more precisely than simply west of Mbala.
And if I'm not mistaken, she's sitting right over there. Was she in here?
She was in the other end, the other one.
Yeah, the other one. Oh, this is the one with.
square.
You
This is the one
fool!
with
That's right.
Earl
Okay, so yeah, that's Farrell and Gondola. So if I'm not mistaken, she's what's the other one called? The fancy one, or the quiet one? rather.
Gondola.
No, the other end.
Oh, the other inn. 1 second. Sorry, I believe that was called. So, like, if someone's health of respite.
Yeah. And it's like the calmer one. I was like,
Yeah,
and
it's
if I'm not mistaken, she's just across the road.
I kind of like look at the flyer. What of the scarred dwarf? He was a brave warrior.
Yes. I dig through the no pile and get
Right
Hughes
at
out
the
here.
bottom of that file.
He might leave us a bit short-handed though.
In what manner?
In the manner of gold.
I was talking actually more about the manner of having had one arm bitten off by a dragon, but
What use do we have of
I
gold? and-
appreciate that humor is different at the bottom of the ocean.
We have humor.
Good one.
I kind of like think a bit and like I'll speak up and be like, how long can a human hold his breath?
I don't know. How long can a human hold his breath?
Nobody knows. They don't stop talking long enough for it to measure it.
There, I could. Yes. No. Have them slapping the knees round the old seaweed bonfire.
It's like sigh and shake my head. Like,
Anyway, I say, sort of like, can I like sleight of handing Hughes back into the
Anyway.
no pile, like, hoping that Alcamenos might have like forgotten that like that I just kind of like tried to sneakily put him back in the no pile. Anyway, shall we go and speak with Azaka?
Yes, it would be quite good to, first of all, inform her that we wish to have her as a guide, and secondly, to know what kind of things we need to have with us on the trip itself. Like, there was insect repellent, yes.
Yes, you're right. We should. Well, absolutely, we should get her advice on exactly what list of things we should take. And we should, of course, look in on Lady Sylvain and let her know of our decision and where we will be heading. I think every time we're in Port Nyanzaru, it's important to keep her as informed as possible.
Yes, and if it's not too much of a hassle, I'd like to visit the temple where the Aqualite is practicing.
Of course. Well, not all of us need see Lady Sylvain to let her know, so I could go there alone, and you and the others could go to the temple, or anyone could go anywhere, I suppose.
I look at Rishas and say, I will escort you to the temple.
I just expect that that Azaka would like to, if you are to depart Port Nyanzaru today, Azaka would like to leave sooner rather than later. But we should go ask her.
Yes.
And I do finish my breakfast drink, despite the fact that I'm not a breakfasty drink sort of person. I do have the breakfast drink.
You know,
Provided by Alcamenos.
Yeah, sure, Alcamenos. He's the one who paid for it.
He's the one who ordered it.
Okay, so yeah, you finish your drink, and the rest you also like kind of finishing your breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably done with breakfast long ago. It's just
Yeah, that's true.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Well, who's going where?
I think we'll all go to
We're all
Azaka
going to the
first.
guide,
Yeah,
right?
we're all
Yeah.
going to
We're all going to Zaka. Okay, and you'll just leave. Are you leaving you're leaving all your stuff right in the end? Like, you didn't really talk about what time you kind of need to vacate the rooms. But
Oh
you
yeah, no, that's
only
true.
booked
No,
for one
yeah,
night,
I
so-
think since we did only book for one night, I think I would have just brought like my limited stuff down for breakfast.
Mhm.
You say all your
and-
stuff.
I always have my stuff on me. I don't have that.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like, I've given my room key back because like the expectation
okay.
is that we're not spending that night.
So if you give your room key back, I hope that I'll commend not. Wait, no, who was with you? Was it Richard with you actually? Or was
Yeah.
it- yeah, Richard. Have
Well,
you-
I mean, okay, I wouldn't have given the room key back if Richard was.
That's what I mean.
I-
Richard, did you
yeah,
take all
taking
your
my
stuff out as
stuff,
well?
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
my
okay,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah. The other two, yeah, same. Or
I
don't know if
don't
you
really have
like-
any stuff.
Well,
so-
Leave
Don't
the
have
room,
much
lock
stuff.
Richard in, give the key back.
Okay, but both you guys have all your stuff, so they can figure out what to do with the room. Okay. fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and you all head towards is Kaya's house
Zaka.
or Vespos or
Kaya's house of respite. Repose.
one of those two.
We go. It's like,
You,
it's a
when
change
you,
of
when you go see
destination.
the sign, you say it says Vespos, and you're like, oh yeah.
Vespos.
Okay.
Respose.
Vespos. Okay, so yeah, you guys all head in. Yeah, it's quite quiet. Just obviously people who like stay
Quite
here
quiet.
eating breakfast, and yeah, one of them does seem to be Azaka.
Hello, Azaka. Remember us?
Oh, she kind of finished the mouthful. Was like, the explorers from yesterday. Please come join me. I trust this is good news.
It is for you. I hope it is for us. We've decided that we would like to hire you as, well, I say hire. We would like you to be our jungle guide in exchange for us going to Firefinger with you and something.
She kind of like stands up, big smile on her face. This is the most excellent news. You will not be disappointed in my services, my friends. And she kind of offers to shake all you guys' hands.
Yeah,
You know,
I would shake it.
Deal done. Boom. Are you good enough?
My still slightly tender hand I offer.
She's slightly more gentle than her.
I'm
Slightly
not.
more.
I'm not.
Oh, you're being big boy, alright, Jacko. Alright.
But longer than-
Until someone tells me otherwise, that's how we shake hands.
Nah, she tries to grip back and in an equally kind of she's pretty
Oh.
good. Okay, you can roll. What's it called?
I mean,
Athletics.
so far I'm 0 for 1, so...
Athletics. Okay. Ooh,
I
that's
was
pretty
waiting
good though.
for a natural 20.
Okay. So she's got like a decent grip, and you're feeling it this morning,
Mhm.
and she's like, she just kind of.
But she's got some flexing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So after she shakes your hand, she's like, "Oh, please come sit with me," and she kind of pushes her plate to the side. It's still like half eaten, but she's lost interest in it. She's like, so you're willing to come with me to Firefinger and help me?
Yes, actually, if I get out my map, still folded down to Chult. Like so, there's it's probably like a foot by a foot or something. It's like a piece of paper about that big. And I put it flat on the table and I say, this was our proposed route, in fact.
She kind of takes a close look at it.
We're setting out more or less blindly, with just rumor that we managed to acquire yesterday to direct us as to where things might be. We figured that traveling along the rivers would probably be easier, both in terms of density of jungle and availability of food. So we thought if we travel up River Tiriki, that would take us near to where we estimate Firefinger to be. And then from there, and I kind of like tell her about the rumors of the dragon and the birdfolk monastery, and I assume we assume this to be the Olung River, and that
She's
it
like,
would
yes,
take us-
that's right. That is the Yolong River. Yes.
Excellent. And that would therefore, if we followed that, we would pass possibly Kersaval and an opportunity to find a dragon's treasure. And if not there, then we might get lucky rescuing the last royal heir of Chult from his birdfolk captors.
She kind of frowns when you mention like, wait, what was it you mentioned like dragon treasure, right?
Dragon.
Yes.
Yeah, she kind of frowns at like I've not heard of that, but
I'll just tell her the rumor. I'll tell her there was once a great green dragon who blah 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 from Ezra go blah 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 Laughing Gorge and then south to Kersaval and find the treasure.
she kind of nods like I see. she kind of frowns like she's not heard that one myself. But
Look, I shrug and say, you know, well, someone said it. If you have any other suggestions, we'd love to hear them. Any alterations to the route?
She says no. I mean, it comes close to Firefinger, and that is where I am most interested to go. So I have no complaints.
Excellent. We, or at least one of us, needs to go and tell our employer where we're off to, and I think at least one of us wanted to go and say a quick prayer. But in an hour, would an hour be good to leave?
We may need some time to gather at least a few supplies. You say you want to head down.
Getting ahead of myself.
The river. Although you are right in most cases, rivers are the fastest way to travel around the island, and also are normally safer. The River Tariki, at least near its source, becomes quite hard to traverse. There are quite a lot of waterfalls and rocks in the way. She kind of like gestures them out to like round this area,
Sure.
and she's like, "Well, we could at least take it down, perhaps 50 miles downstream." And she kind of like points about where's my ruler? Like she like points around there. Like if we made it to about there, we will be very close to Firefinger, and we can probably dismount and walk through the jungle from there.
Aha! That's why we'd be paying you if we were paying you.
She kind of chuckles at that.
On the subject of which, yes, I was getting ahead of myself. What do we need to buy? I have some rations.
She kind of nods. It's like she's like, I see. Well, in terms of food, I am quite an avid survivalist. I can help hunt, and if any of you are also able to, I would be much appreciated and save us some time. The hardest thing is often water, due to the well, most of all the rivers, in fact, have parasites quite common in the water, which if drunk can cause immense pain and exhaustion. So the water we would either need to be from rainfall or boiled first for safety. I would recommend, I'm sure you've seen them, how common rain catches are in this city. There are quite a few that are designed for traveling, and most days at least have some rainfall, so it shouldn't be too hard to gather some water. So I would suggest
Excellent.
purchasing.
How many rain catchers would we need for a party of this size, do you think?
Kind of thinks, to be safe, I would suggest
Right.
3. 2 would normally only be necessary, but in case one breaks and it's a long journey, it helps to have a backup.
Okay, I make a note of that.
Let me just look at my race real quick, see if I have a dehydration weakness or something.
But if we rain in a rainforest, I doubt like for the moisture in the air.
Yeah, there is like general rain also quite a lot. Like it's very humid, Jacko. She
we
also
good
says
here.
she kind of perhaps a canoe. Obviously, we will need. There should be plenty big enough to hold the 5 of us and your not huge belongings. Also, there are a lot of insects and flying bugs in the jungle, and they can often contract disease if you get bitten. So we would have to purchase insect repellent. It is fairly cheap and is very hard wearing. It should not be too effort, but.
How much would we need to last, say, a month?
Which she says perhaps a couple of vials. They are
A couple of vials, okay.
They are very commonly sold in the markets. Adventurers go through them fast. She kind of thinks, so she kind of like, well, she's like, it's like, she kind of asks like, we obviously have some backup rations for where hunting is scarce, or if we do not have time in some days. Also, as she kind of puts like, are any of you able hunters?
Yes.
I mean,
Excellent.
I've done it before.
Like excellent. In that case, we should be. We should be fine. Again, some rations for emergency situations. Obviously, I would suggest perhaps a 10-day allowance each, but on the majority of days, we will hunt for our food.
Yes, 10 days, exactly. It's exactly how many rations I have. Ooh,
Perfect.
Same.
funny that.
Funny how that works.
I couldn't even remember that. Pretty good. Okay. In that case, those are most of the necessities we would require. Anything else that you believe you may need personally, you can look into buying. We sell almost everything in the markets here, but in terms of surviving in the jungle, it is much different than surviving well in your own lands, I imagine, in the wilderness. The only difficulty is the water and the insects.
And the
I have-
dinosaurs.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, you don't have them back there.
I have not hunted above ground, but I've experienced fighting larger creatures.
I'm sure that will prove handy.
So, Richard, you wanted to go to the temple. I believe Alcamenos, you said you were going to accompany him.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, why don't I go and inform Lady Sylvain of our plans, and Zeno, you can purchase the supplies.
Sure.
Great. Meet back here in... Well, I suppose meet back here when we meet back.
She's like, excellent, I will start making
Hey,
myself ready.
Gonna need the money.
Of course. I give you... How much do we get from Sylvain?
In total,
Oh my god, I give you... I don't know. I give you like 20 gold pieces. Because I have like 30 of them. I can't possibly imagine you'll spend even a fraction of that, but just in case it is really expensive, you got 20 gold pieces.
Okay, so like, yeah, it's like, no need. Richard, give me my.
Yeah, I give the 50 back.
Oh, okay. I take my money back then. Fine. Be that way.
Okay. Okay, so you guys will... She's like,
Keep it
okay, I
safe.
will see you shortly. And you'll head out?
Yep.
And, let's deal with... We'll do Tom's stuff first. His stuff is technically the closest. He's like basically in the market already. Okay, Tom. So we don't really have to roleplay it. You basically given a lift and you want to list and you want to buy it, right?
Yeah, I just want to buy the stuff.
Okay. So stuff is quite expensive, actually.
Jesus.
So when you well, one thing in particular, when you were like looking around what to do, you notice that canoes are the one thing that you've been told to buy, which are very expensive. A canoe is 50 gold pieces.
Jesus.
Everything else, the insect repellent, for instance, you found that, and it's like basically all sold in like little vials or little containers. When you like ask the sellers about it, they say it costs 1 gold, but it contains 20 applications of like the kind of grease you put on your body, and like one application will last like 24 hours. It's like waterproof, so you can fall in the rivers or whatever. So that's 1 gold for 20 applications. The rain catcher is also 1 gold, and it's like a like a wooden frame with a tarp in it, and the design sort of like folds up for quite easy transport. But so yeah, rain catcher 1 gold each. Same with insect repellent, but the canoe is 50 gold.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
you also, people selling the insect repellent. There's also like the same kind of people selling like a block of incense. So like which you would burn and it would like let off smoke to distract insects. But Azaka didn't mention that at least.
Okay, so we have 20 applications.
Mm-hmm.
We expect to be longer than 20 days on the
Mhm.
road. So I want to buy. Do I have to buy supplies for Azarka as well? That she.
She didn't mention that.
Then I won't, I guess. Or would I? I don't know. I'm gonna buy 10 of those.
Spare files anyway, right?
I'm gonna buy 10. I'm gonna buy 10
You
insect
have 2
things.
random applications. Okay, so 10
So
gold.
divided
Yeah.
by 5.
Yes. Incense. How much does the incense block like supposed to last?
It would
Yes.
like if you light it would like last throughout the night. So like for 8 hours ish.
But the instant application is 24 hours. So
Yeah.
fuck that then.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It's basically if you were lazy, you would only get the night one, and then just try to
Yeah.
hit things in a day if they land.
Yeah, and I fuck that. And the rain catchers. We're
She said
told
get
to what,
three.
like, get
You,
three?
you told 2 would be enough water, but probably best to have a backup in case, you know, you get ripped or damaged from repair.
Okay, then I buy 3 of those.
Mhm.
But I don't have enough money for the canoe, so I'm gonna have to return for that one.
Okay. He's like, I'll see you later, hopefully.
So that's 13 gold in total, right?
Yeah, 13 gold. Yep.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's
Didn't put with a 30-day plan.
So that was like, yeah, so as you're doing that, we'll go through someone else. Okay, Tom. Not Tom. Chris.
That's me
From
again,
the-
damn.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going back to Chateau de Otaku, or whatever his name is.
Wakanda or Tangu. Okay, I won't bother putting it on the map. I'm not sure
Wakanda
it's gonna show.
forever.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you go to the you know, the fancy entrance with all the guards outside, and they kind of, you know, just stand there posingly until you know, say anything.
Hello. Yes. I'm here to see Lady Sylvain.
They kind of like one of them like they look to each other, and then one of them like says, "Please wait," and then the other one like, you know, heads inside, comes back in like, you know, a couple minutes and says, "You may enter." You know, stand aside, doors open. And Sylvain actually is like waiting for you, basically like the entrance for, like, you know, not like the entrance, but like in the kind of main lounge, like open room. As you walk in, she's like, "Oh,
Lady
Sky."
Sylvain.
Oh, she's got a croaky voice. Sky, how are you today?
We are well, thank you. We found our accommodation most excellent, although probably not quite as comfortable as all this, I'd imagine. I look around.
I imagine not.
We've some good news. We have selected our guide. It's to be this woman Azaka, and I guess I hand her Azaka's like flyer.
She kind of like looks over and like a little bit bemused as you just handing it over. It's like, and she knows she's like, she sounds suitable. You trust this woman? She seems like a suitable guide.
I shrug. I say we spoke to all of them, and given that we have to trust someone, we've chosen to trust this one.
That is.
She seems to know.
put your faith in
She
some.
seems to know her stuff, and has some interesting ideas as to where we might go. And I get out the map and show her like our proposed route, like, you know, deep into the heart of Chult. You know, if the soulmonger's out there, we'll find it.
Excellent. I have utmost faith in you.
She's really hard to inside, right?
Really hard. You can try.
I want to try, because, like, I just kind of, like, I don't quite trust her. There's, like, kind of, like, a, why would you trust me with this sort of thing about this? So I'm like,
I
you
mean,
know,
Cinder Sylvain is an evil name.
Yeah, like, she doesn't have utmost trust in you. Like, it doesn't sound like she has
Okay.
negative intentions. It's
Okay,
kinda like she
but,
would
like,
like
yeah.
to believe that, right? Like,
It's
she
like
would like
a-
to
yeah.
think you can do it. but
does it
if
sound
she
like,
really thinks you
do I
can,
get the
though-
impression that, like, I mean, obviously she knows a lot of things that I don't, but, like, there's something specific that she's not letting on? There's, like, a hidden, like Dumbledore knew Harry was a Horcrux, sort of, like, you know, she's got, like, a sort of secret behind the scenes that, like, is...
No, it doesn't seem like
No,
there's a big
okay,
thing like that.
Okay,
No,
Might
nothing,
feel
nothing,
nice to
nothing
convince
to that
herself.
scale of, you know, Harry's a Horcrux.
sure. Yeah. It's not like, she knows that, like, the soulmonger will only be appeased when, like, 4 idiots are sent to sacrifice themselves to it, and then it's like, you know...
He doesn't know that.
It's
you,
like
you maybe get the
Kangaroo
impression that,
Jack.
like, you know,
Oh, she
the
doesn't
deep-
know that, but it's
you
right.
probably like in the impression like she thinks like she has like she
Sure,
says she has other
okay.
thing, but she doesn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
think you can do it. Maybe
That's fair,
She's
that's fair.
hoping this.
Yeah, as soon as we leave, she's gonna get another crew.
She's going back. She's just cycling crews of 4 out into the jungle. There's dozens of them wandering around.
Hey, I mean, you might not get things. I mean,
So yeah, I snap her a sort of. Well, it's not a really great salute because I don't really know how to salute, but, you know, an attempt at a salute, and I say we shall certainly do our utmost. And we'll see you when we're next back in Port Nyanzaru.
Excellent. I can't wait to see your mission go. I'm sure. Excellent.
Sure. I nod. Well, anyway, the others are waiting. I best be off.
Of course. Good luck, and
Thank you. You too.
I'm sure you'll do me proud.
I don't say anything insensitive like try and still be alive when we get back, although it does cross my mind. I just salute again and dash out the door.
Okay. Okay. You other two. Richard and Alcamenos.
Alcamenos.
Okay.
Yeah, we would
you guys...
enter. We would go to the temple.
He wants to go to the north one, right?
Yeah, the one over here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
you,
the goddess of divination or something, right?
Exactly the case. Exactly the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you guys walk there. You know, like, it's busy morning. So when you get there, you can see that it's you've been told it's Temple of Divination. As you kind of get close to it, it kind of makes sense. It's a very like an old, grand-looking building, and the tiled roof. Like as you kind of look from a distance, you know, you can kind of see it. But I'm gonna say this is like a little higher. It's like it resembles like a big unblinking eye, like looking straight north. Like I mean, up to the sky, not north. Sorry. And yeah, like on the side, there's kind of like some of the sculptures or the statues are like of an old man with like a crystal ball basically in his hands.
Mordor and Saruman. I see.
And you go inside.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second then.
Before we enter, I guess I'll stop Richard by the shoulder and say, if my joke towards the humans offended you, I do apologize.
No hard feelings. I'm not entirely human to begin with.
Yes. You mentioned your blood being divine. I kind of look at the temple. Do you have cause to believe this god might be the one?
No, not exactly. However, if it has something to do with the man from, if it truly has something with the man from last night, then I wish to see if I can get an answer to that.
Ah, the sign, yes. Okay, we enter the temple, Ian.
Yeah.
Ian seems busy with something.
Okay, so read that portrait. Yeah, as you guys like inside the temple, you see it's quite a old grand building. There's it's quite a few people like in pews like praying to himself, and yeah, there's like a really fancy like altar, and it looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah, there's not like a sermon going on right this minute.
I would go to like one of the altars somewhere, and I would.
Pews, you mean?
Yeah, one of the queues. I don't fucking.
The altars are like the thing the guy at the front stands at and talks at.
Oh yeah, one of the things I can fucking pray in front of. Okay.
Okay, sure, something. Yeah, okay.
And I would like go down on one knee, and I would start pray. I would simply like thank her for guidance and things like that. And I would do it all like in a hushed tone in
When you
Celeste.
say thank her, who are you talking about?
I thank the goddess of the temple or god.
Is it god?
Is it a god? Okay.
It's a god.
A goddess. Okay. Yeah, I would thank him for his guidance.
Okay. What are you doing?
Celestial.
Alcamenos.
I mean, he sees Richard as like finally something I recognize. So he also kneels. But like puts the trident next to him and just like closes his eyes and like doesn't pray, but just gives respect to the altar in front of him.
Okay. As you guys are like in the midst of praying, like there's various like side doors off off the main hall, everything, and you guys kind of hear like basically raised voices like from one of these rooms. The sounds quite like
a fight?
like an argument happening or something, something. Do you do anything?
I open one eye and look at Richard.
Like look, does it sound like proper angry voices, or are they just arguing or something?
It's arguing, and if like you listening for a few seconds, it starts to sound a little angry, yeah.
Okay, I stand up and walk over.
I would
kick in the door.
No. I would. Is there like, like a place I can sit down close to the door?
Yeah. I mean, you can move along like the kind of pew you're at to like kind of get closer.
I would sit down closer and listen.
No, but this was
attempt
in
to
another
listen
room,
in,
right?
But I
Yeah.
would attempt to listen in, but I would like sit with my like in a praying position on the.
Yeah, it'll be quite hard to hear like what's actually being said because it is like there is a door in the way. Like you're
Yeah,
close,
I'll-
but like there's still a door.
after like
the
10
voices are-
seconds.
The voices are loud, so.
After like 10 seconds, if Richard just sits there, I do roughly open the door. And like, without
Okay.
even like regarding what's inside, I just say, this is a place of ritual and worship. I ask you to be silent.
Where are we?
It's like the abbot. Of, it's like the abbot and his wife
Okay,
or something.
Where are we, guys?
In the temple.
In the temple. So yeah, like when you open the door, the side you kind of see, it looks like this is basically sort of like it's like an office, I guess, like that like one of the priests or would work at or spend their time. It's very modestly furnished, nothing too fancy, like they're not spending all the church's funds on this room. And like behind like the desk, but like standing up is like an old man who looks very Chultan.
Pointy head.
Let me think if he has. I'm not actually sure, but I
Why-
can check to see
why
if
are
he
we
has
in
a
a temple?
handout. They went to the temple.
Okay.
But,
Uh,
because we had the signal like yesterday of the weird man on the street, and he was like, go to the temple.
Okay, sadly no token for him, but yeah, quite like an old man, kind of like kindly face, but he looks kind of like angry now, and he's like standing up, and in front of him are like 3 people who are kind of like having an argument, and as like barge in, they kind of like kind of stop and just to kind of look at you, and the man behind it is like this stranger is right, this is temple, you must leave, and they're kind of just like they kind of like stand there and just kind of like look at what's so funny.
I just love the
This is
image of
temple.
like this blue man busting in, like, shut up, you quacks, and he's like, the stranger is right, you must go.
Yeah.
The whole situation is fantastic, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah,
it
it
is
is
not
good,
as funny
it's
as I find it.
Okay, no,
It's quite funny.
so they kind of stand there and kind of like looking at the old man. They kind of look at you, and then like
If I have to roll intimidation, I will.
Wait,
But...
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
wait,
okay, yeah,
which-
roll
which
intimidation,
building
that's
is
a
the
good
temple,
idea.
by the way?
good idea. What's that?
Which building is the temple again?
This one.
Okay.
Yeah, the smaller one, yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
not bad. Like they yeah, they take a few seconds aside and like and then they turn back to the man and they finally say, one of them says you should take our offer, and then they just like turn and leave.
Okay,
And then,
what's that?
I definitely hear.
Yeah, you hear all
ring bell.
this with the doors
Yeah.
open, you were very close. And then at this, when they leave, and after they've left the room and gone like halfway out of the church, the man turns to you and he's like, thank you, stranger. That conversation was starting to become slightly more heated than I would have liked.
Did they threaten you, Altar Master?
Not in so many words. They wished me to I don't know, help them with their. He kind of looks like he doesn't really want to like say exactly with job they were doing, and I did not believe they had the best intentions.
See. Even those misguided will seek the aid of the temples.
Indeed, he kind of like kind of raises his hand in general to temples, like the magic that divination gods imbue upon you is quite tempting for those weak in heart. Kind of like interesting, like, where are you from, my friend? You are not from here, I believe.
I kind of like look back towards where I could just I have an ocean sense, like a spidey sense of where it is, which direction it is. I'm like, I come from far.
Wait, you say I come from far?
Yeah.
He's like I think you must.
I cannot say that I pray to your god, but I do recognize their power.
He kind of nods and he kind of shrugs and he's like, we all have our own gods. Who we choose to serve is a personal choice.
Is
Kinda,
it really though? Come on.
Definitely. He's
had
kind
a
of
lot
like,
of
he
choice
kind
in
of
that.
looks like he's taking a liking to you, basically when you just like, helped him. He's like, what brings you to my temple? You were just interested in seeing the gods of Chult?
Would I? Yeah, I would just be fucking forthright. I'll say like, We are on a quest to destroy an evil artifact on this island. And I wish to gain the favor of the local divinity.
He's like an evil artifact in Chult. He kind of looks like he looks like he's like. Are you sure? I haven't.
I believe it has many names, but the one I know is Soulmonger. It has to do with the sickness of those that are resurrected from the dead.
He kind of like waits like this curse I have heard of. You have it on good authority, or you have a feeling that this is due to Chult?
I do not know. If it is not here, I will find it.
He kind of thinks for a second, and he's like,
And while he's thinking, I'm like, I'll just turn around and be like, yesterday, a man on the streets stopped us. He guided us towards this temple with what I believe is a message from the gods.
This is a very curious development, I would say. He kind of thinks, and he's like, obviously, this is the Temple of Savas, the god of divination of fortune tellers. I can tell who speaks the truth, and I don't hear a word of lie in your voice.
Could you send me the spelling on that name?
Savas.
Yeah.
Okay, when he says that,
In Mode 20.
I'll walk into the room a little
Thank you.
closer, and for as much as Alchemanos can, he'll whisper and be like, if you do see truth, I ask you a favor. With me as a companion, a human. He claims to have divine blood. I do not believe he is lying, but I would wish to know the truth. Because this is not a small claim.
This man has. Is he a cleric, a worshipper, a knight of the gods?
I do not think he... I am not sure.
Oh, if he is,
He
I
is,
will gladly at least talk to him and see
Yes.
what I think of the man.
I believe he is praying to your gods.
Ah. Can I say, oh, it
I'll
would be
just-
good to meet him. Any man who's seen a fan of you, I'm sure is good.
I'll guide him towards Richard.
Yeah, I would still be hushly praying still in Celestial.
So he kind of comes up and like looks to you and like says, "Excuse me, my friend. I have just met your acquaintance." He kind of gestures to Alcamenos. He's like, "He said you were a worshipper of my god. That is delightful to hear. Many strangers from faraway lands have not seen the truth."
I would stand up and look him in the nod. I had not heard your god by name before I entered these lands, but it is a strange realization upon
Well, sometimes
seeing
the
the
heart,
sign of this
the
temple.
heart calls for the gods. He kind of like kind of looks at you, kind of Alcamenos, and kind of looks back, and he's like, my friend tells you that you may have some aspect of the gods inside yourself.
Yes, I'm an Asimar.
He kind of nods at this, like, I have not met many of you come before. I knew one once. It's interesting. You're kind of not common.
Yes, it's the inhabitants of the celestial plane do not often take such a direct approach to influence the world.
Certainly not.
I look at the priest. I'm like, can you tell if your god resides within him?
He kind of thinks it's like that would be a difficult task. Perhaps if I have time, I could perform a ritual, but I would need to gather the correct materials. Perhaps if I had some time.
we are about to go on a journey within the jungle, and will not return for some time.
Is this? He kind of looks through documents. The journey for the reason you told me.
Indeed.
Kind of thinks he's like, if you have any time, again, this may take me a bit of a while, but similar to what he's kind of speaking inside of the voice, but I don't want to try to do that. If you give me some time, similar to what those men wanted, I could see if I can consult the guide, so to say, and see if I could gain any information that may help you in your search for this artifact, this object of evil. After what you have done for me, my friend, it would be the least I could do.
My companion is right. Time we lack. Our plan was to head out today into the jungles. How long would this ritual take?
Kind of thinks maybe a day. Come back tomorrow morning. I could be done, but I need the night.
I look at Richard and say, I believe it to be worth considering.
I feel the same, but we have other party members to take into account
Of
before
course.
making the decision.
Of course. If you decide to this, make sure to let me know. Not before dusk. I need time to prepare for it. But it is very interesting to meet you, you two. You are not like many others.
Your city is strange.
He kind of chuckled. He's like, you could say that, yes.
Suspect it's not not the last time this campaign we're going to hear the words. You guys aren't like everyone else.
And
He's
as
like,
Mara
well-
tried and at the back she walked into a bar. And for fuck, oh my god.
Fishman, tree giant, cat boy.
God
God
knows,
thing.
man.
He's like, well, I will not keep you from your prayers any longer, my friend. He kind of like, and says, if you come back, make sure to ask for Zitembe. And he kind of offers you to his hand.
The Tembe.
Mhm.
If those men come back, we are staying at the tavern, the Thundering Lizards. We will not stay for long, but as long as we are here, we will attempt to protect your temple.
It is much kind of you. I will not forget. And he kind of does like a short bow and retreats back to like his office.
I would do like a final thank you towards in Celestial, and then
So I ask
turn
you-
to Algamenos and ask, should we go?
Or just not. Is Celestial, I forgot, is it just like angelic, like, ha ha ha?
No, I mean it's actual words.
It's actual words, like Latin or something. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's probably close-ish to Latin. I'd say, yeah, or like.
Salve, celestium sum.
Sure.
In nomine
yes,
spiritus
yeah,
sancti.
I'm imagining it to be like that, like the Latin Noctis.
Celestiones est? Yeah, no.
He speaks Celestial.
I don't know, I was like, are you a celestial?
So you guys start heading back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll say, like obviously, in reality, I think probably Tom would even. Tom probably gets there just about first, and then you probably as soon after Sky, and then the other two probably a little later.
Okay, just before I head straight back, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm curious, and I think the view would be kind of good from up here. I kind of wander around like all the way. Basically, I go up here and kind of look down at this. I know we don't really know anything about it. It's not the book, but it's ruined down here, and it's kind of puzzle to myself about it. And then I kind of like glance at. So like,
You want to glance at like in that direction?
I look. I can look. Can I look out over the walls from here? Like, are these
Yeah.
pyramids?
Okay, so those things, those are like. I don't know. Do you mind a ziggurat? Do you know what that is?
Okay, yeah.
It's like two kind of big,
Those are the
big
things in,
ziggurats.
Warcraft 3.
And like you can see even from this,
Orient
like,
Tundra.
yeah, on like the kind of terraces, they're kind of like jam packed with like small kind of bamboo like shops and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. Like
I mean,
a sort of a pyramid shopping mall, or like a pyramid with a shopping mall on the outside.
Yeah,
sort
it
of
looks
thing.
like this place is like in like all these kind of houses around here, they look like a little bit more like run down like in here, but that was most in here like quite fancy merchants'
Sure.
houses and stuff. So this is maybe
Sure.
where like kind of like the working class folk would live. Like they didn't
Sure,
slums,
okay.
but they're also like a
Like the pyramid equivalent of an Audi.
yeah, sure. And you can see like, this thing here, Chris. Like even though like it's still quite early, maybe like like
Okay, yeah.
9:30, 10 probably this time. There's like people kind of lining across the side, and you can kind of hear like kind of animal cries, and like from what you can see, this is like a pit that's like about 15 feet deep, and like it's a couple hundred feet long,
Oh,
and
it's
like
fighting
you
with
you can't see like very much in detail, but you can see like you kind of like hear it's kind of like some snarling and some stuff, and then maybe occasionally like a shout or
Does it sound like animals fighting or animals being sacrificed?
animals fighting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought
Just
it
a
did, but, like,
Pokemon
you never,
battle.
you never know with these people.
Yeah, but and then
Pokemon
you're kind of
shit.
watching it for a bit, and after like a few seconds, you hear like the snarling, and then you hear like quite a loud scream, and then like some cheering, and then
Of like a person.
yeah.
Oh.
That's
Hello, that's grim. I kind of stands on end for a second.
But there's quite a big crowd around it, and even like it's like a 1 feet, and you can see from like so that's 4 feet. So like the crowd looks like it's almost like everybody. Like there's like like a lot of like people from slums probably, but also like some quite prosperous people.
I make a note,
Mhm.
and so therefore I make a note.
Oh, when you're up here, you'd see this weird sort of orangey thing, and that's just like it looks like it's just a crazy big sinkhole, and like it looks like it's almost like covered with like garbage, like almost all like the garbage of the city had probably just chucked it.
Is it burning?
Oh my god.
Or just,
yeah,
just
it's
or
kind of
just
like it's
smoking?
kind of
or just like or just like
kind of like kind of smoking, kind of like festering,
Yeah.
and like kind of little
Okay.
weird bubbles and stuff like that.
yeah, but it's not just stinking. It's like some kind of like combustive process or something.
Something's
going on
happening to it.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Like,
okay.
I mean, if
It's
it's
not- yeah.
it's not that huge, and it looks like real full. So either they empty it every so often, or somehow it gets gone.
Sure. Nice. Well, okay. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, so I just like I have a look out. How actually interesting. How well fortified is Port Nyanzaru? Like it's
The
obviously got a
actual
wall all around it, but
walls
like how
the actual walls are pretty heavily fortified. Like there's quite a lot of guard even this morning. They look quite well prepared.
Is it
you
strong
imagine-
enough to stop King Kong?
Probably not. Probably
Probably
not.
not,
But you would imagine that like if there was like an attack from like the inside, it would basically be pretty much everyone who's in like this, which is called the old city, and like
Yeah.
these other two places would basically be running for the inside. And if they got beyond the walls, they'd probably be okay.
oh, I've seen that scene.
Yeah. But otherwise, it would be Once like the walls are strong, and there are
Okay.
manacles.
Okay. And the guards are all from the what mercenary company? They're not the
Zatari.
Flaming. This is Atari, thank you. Yeah, the ones who are looking for the cats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, we can get a bounty.
This is kind of like okay. So this is actually what's kind of weird about this to me, and I'm not making a big thing about this, but like the it's like the wall immediately outside the wall is like a big cliff that overlooks your wall, right? That seems like a kind of the design oversight. to me.
Immediately,
Well, right, but it's like
thick 50
I mean,
feet.
it's like a way, but like putting like archers standing up there are gonna have like a good time, right? Like,
Sure. But
you
like
know.
they're mainly like focused on fighting like undead and stuff. To
Oh
come
yeah.
out.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, you know what? That's fair enough.
Like
That
there
actually-
isn't,
then-
there isn't
then
really
it's-
like other civilizations attached.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all just like
Okay.
nature.
Okay, that's interesting.
Or like
Bees
Yeah, I
hurt
guess
and
that's a conclusion to draw from that. Cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, then I head
Yeah, I guess
head back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so Tom will say you head back first. If you head back, you don't see currently Azaka in the inn. Like when you first get there, do you just like kind of sit down and wait for the others?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. After a little bit, you return to Sky, and spot Zeno sitting there.
Okay. Yeah. I wave. I head over.
Mm.
Hey, Zeno.
Okay. God mode is the stuff, but canoes are expensive. 50 gold.
Didn't
have that much.
That's quite an investment. Well, we can afford it, but we should ask Azaka exactly how much faster she thinks the canoe will make us.
Yeah, I agree.
It might not be worth it.
I agree.
That said, what use will we have for the gold out in the jungle? We if we find worthwhile opportunities to spend a lot of it here, we should take them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I expect the others will be along soon enough.
And they enter.
Sure. You guys enter at that point. After a few seconds, can't be too good.
Raised eyebrows all the way. Way too coincidental.
It's like that scene in Arrested Development when they turn on the TV for the news and they have to like wait for half an hour for it to be relevant.
Alright, yeah, they've showed up.
But no Ozaki yet?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Okay.
We walk over to Sky and the others. The other, Zeno.
Hey, Richard. Hey, Alcamanos.
Greetings.
How did it go at the temple? You get your prayers in?
Indeed, we spoke with the altar master. He has offered to bless us on our quest, but it will take a day.
He
Well,
offers.
that's awfully
He did
generous.
offer to use his more divine ways through the god of divinity. He's god of divinity to see if he can find out anything about the artifact.
Well,
He
that
also seemed,
certainly would be
God.
useful.
Divinity.
yes, a god of divinity.
I see.
Um,
What kind of god?
Sabras.
I don't know if we'd want to delay a whole day for it.
Roll religion, Tom.
That's not a religion.
He deals with knowledge.
Oh.
Definitely not. You not got that.
11. Like you've like heard the name maybe, but you know literally like
Yeah.
name. Think he's a god of divination. That's about it. Not it.
Anyway, I should also roll for Sabras, right?
Sure. Did I have you roll last time when you saw a temple the first time? I feel like maybe, but I will.
I thought we rolled for the golden temple. But
Maybe, yeah. It's the exact same as what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
like he'll finish his ritual in the morning.
Well, I mean, I suppose it wouldn't eat too much, but I don't know. We've kind of told Azaka we're ready to go. She might object.
Especially if her preparations are not something that can be easily put on hold.
At this
And
point,
also-
you see her like kind of head down from like the staircase.
We are on time pressure. A day could be critical.
Kind of walks over like, my friends, have you all made the preparations already?
Canoes are expensive.
Yes.
He kind of
uh,
chuckles like, they are pretty penny. The merchant owns the supply of them, and it's somewhat a monopoly, I guess you could say.
I see.
Could he not make our
Build
own?
them ourselves.
He kind of thinks it's like, perhaps to get the supplies and to build it, it would take time. If you're willing to put a long enough time invest into it, I
We have a
imagine you could
night,
maybe make
perhaps.
one. She kind of chuckles like, I myself never tried before. If you were able to, you look like you maybe are not unused to water.
Or perhaps we could speak with the merchant prince who controls the supply of canoes, or attempt to, and see if some kind of amicable, I don't know, maybe he has something he wants done out in the jungle.
She kind of thinks
In exchange for a favorable rate. I mean, Azaka, the reason I suggest it is because we were already discussing taking an additional day here in Port Nyanzaru before heading out. You see, the altar master at the temple that Richard and Alcamanos have visited has offered to bless us, I think, on our quest, and as well as provide some divination magic that might reveal some more about our ultimate goal.
Yeah, like we
But it
seem
would
to
take a day, apparently.
That does sound interesting, though. I would any time a blessing from the god is offered, it seems remiss to refuse.
Yes, and if we were to wait around a day, it would be remiss to not further invest that time by seeing if we can get a better deal on a canoe.
Kind of nod. She's like, I guess it does not hurt to try.
Out of interest, how much faster will a canoe be traveling for the first few days of our journey?
You could maybe, she kind of thinks, travel twice the distance in a day you would do otherwise.
That's quite a lot. Could we then take the canoe when we transfer between rivers, or would we just simply have to leave it out there?
If you're willing to carry it, you can take it.
How heavy is a canoe? I turn to Furbo, Zeno, and I say, how heavy do the canoes look?
Good 2 people carriage.
Good.
Well, I take the escalator when I've got a perfectly good
Definitely.
How much?
I
would
like,
it
I
cost?
like, look. Look, Amenas, I'm sure we could carry
One
them.
second. I'll look how much it is.
I mean, I love you have the strength but like there's the thought of someone who's like 7 feet tall and someone who's like 4 feet tall. Just absolutely.
I just have my hand raised, like standing on my tiptoes.
And he's just carrying it on his head, wearing it like a hat, like.
Only costs £100. Not cost.
Weigh 100 pounds. That's quite fucking heavy. That's like 50 kilos. It's a bit less than 50 kilos.
Yeah, it's like 40 kilos. 40
Like it's gonna. Like 2 people can carry that all day.
I mean,
but it'll
it's
slow
for
us down a
6
bit.
people. It's quite a big set.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's. I mean, yeah. Like 2 people can carry that,
definitely carry
but
that.
like,
Yeah, 2 people.
and we can
carry
rotate
it.
and stuff. But like, it's gonna slow us down a bit, right?
Yeah.
Would it? I don't know. It's up to you, I suppose.
Yeah,
It might not
depends,
necessarily down, but it might do some shit like, you know, if you keep
Sure.
doing that, some tires. If you don't rotate properly, you get exhaustion and stuff like that, you know.
Okay, sure.
But we
Probably
moving
do
river
it, but
for
it
river
wouldn't
I rage carry it.
would probably save us time if we're moving river to river,
Definitely.
Yeah. Overall, it'll save us time in the long run. Okay. Well.
and probably be safer as well to be on a canoe than
Yeah.
traveling along the river.
In that case, should we then resolve to remain in Port Nyanzaru an extra day in order to receive blessings tomorrow morning and divination, and also maybe a cheaper canoe?
It would ease my mind that we are on the right path if we receive the blessings.
I agree. I think of the blessing, we're going to need all the blessings we can get.
Yes.
Richard?
Yes, I would like to know what will come from both the divination magic and the blessing itself. So I would prefer staying an extra day.
Well then. Well, so many people to talk to. I'm now, you know, like faced with the possibility of spending a whole day just in Port Nyanzaru with nothing to do except like go around and like meet people and talk to everyone,
What a day.
look at everything.
Me and Alcamenos could return to the temple and tell the Altar Master that we will be staying in the extra day.
I guess not.
For the canoe, which merchant prince is it that has the monopoly?
That would be Akinafa. She's in charge of selling weapons as well, non-magical weapons, shields, the kind.
I see. And do you know where we could find her?
Yeah, one of her. No, so not one of her. Her villa is she kind of like, you know.
One of her
Yes.
multiple villas.
She kind of thinks like you know, in relation to where you are. It is from the east of the Temple of Sabat, not one of the largest ones.
Oh, okay.
You notice like when you walked up, like even like a couple of these like places look like really fancy ones, and they have like guards outside, which probably means like one of the ones across here.
We can talk to the guards. See what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I started heading out.
You start heading out, okay?
Well
Someone
then,
follow.
Should we all go, or
well, I do not see a reason why or why not. So, I suppose me and or Alcamenos could go to the temple.
yeah, perhaps a
Well-
more focused voice? 1 or 2 people visiting her.
Yes. Well, I suppose will be going to the temple. I would prefer that.
Okay. In that case, then should Zeno and I see if we can visit with this trade princess?
Sounds reasonable. Where should we meet afterwards?
Aren't Alcamenos and Richard the ones with the the trait that allows just like casual access to the merchant princess?
I don't think I have.
Oh, you don't have that?
You have like Far Wander or some shit, right? It's that
Yeah, I
one.
have Far Wanderer.
That's,
Yeah,
like,
no, that's the one.
Does that actually give you that?
It
Yes.
literally says
I did
merchant
not know.
princess. Oh shit!
I do not
My
see
roll
that.
20 just crashed.
No.
That's in sword domain, right?
Yeah.
Sword Coast.
Sounds like an inefficient division of labor. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I'll turn around and say, if you feel confident, you can gain an audience. I know they are not truly princes, but they
I
seem.
do suppose Lady Sylvain isn't staying with this one. I won't have an excuse to get in. What do you feel that you could gain an audience? You are, after all, very mighty and from the ocean deeps.
Look at your notes.
I suppose why would they not want to speak to?
I am a champion of the Triton Assembly.
I am not, I must admit. You have that one over me. Very well. Why don't the pair of you visit with the trade princess then? And I can. Oh, I don't know. I'm sure I'll find a way to entertain myself and Zeno. Right, Zeno?
Are you winking at Zeno?
Okay. So yeah, you guys all. Zarka's like, so we will definitely see another day. Excellent. I will simply make sure I am well prepared, I guess.
We will probably stay tonight at the. Yes. Oh, the Thundering Lizard. Okay. I will go. I turn to the group and say, I will go and make sure we have rooms there for tonight before they all sell out. We'll meet. Let's just meet back there this evening, or any time during the day if anyone is looking for anyone. Just hang around there. Base of operations.
Yeah, as you mentioned, like splitting up for an extended period of time. I say, if you do swim, be careful of the turtle.
Number one.
I will remember your sage words of advice for the rest of my life, I think, Alcamenos.
I just noted that.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys will.
Then let us go.
Okay. So sorry, the two going to the Merchant Villa are Alcamenos and Richard. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, as on the way there, I will say to you, I'll just like look at like myself. I have a trident, I have the bracelets, I have like some stuff on my belt, but that's it. And I look at you like, I refer to you for guidance. Do I require anything else on this journey?
Like, does he have his? Do you have your like thing over you, the like rag thing?
Yeah, but like it's pretty close to the chest. Like you see, there's pretty much nothing hidden. It's like a skin tight rag.
I'm not that used to parlaying with more of the noble kind of people. If this is the way, if this is not too unusual for your people to wear, then I see no problem in.
I do not mean the audience. I mean the jungle.
Oh, well, it's a wilderness. As long as you have the propellant, and I see no reason why you should. I see no other.
If he ain't suggesting a bedroll or anything, I'm not.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. No, that's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. No, that's fine. That's fine. You said what you said.
Wait, you seriously have
I have
absolutely
nothing.
with you?
No, I have nothing.
He has a trident and a rag. It's all good.
Wait, you literally have so much right. Okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's
For
all
some reason, I
good.
was thinking
As long as you have the propellant.
Yeah, as long as I have.
You can sleep in the water. Don't worry about it.
Oh, by the way, Ian, I can't hear the music anymore. Could you refresh? Because I tried refreshing.
I
but-
can.
Yeah, like it's
Kinda
just stuck on 0 for
misunderstood it,
me.
But fine. We can...
There we go.
I'm sure we can.
I misunderstood the question, so
You guys are heading up to the
that's all that happened.
to the merchant prince. You just basically ask around, right? Like there's guards like this gate. You just ask one of them as you head up.
Yeah, we would just ask.
Okay, they direct you and they say it's this one here. It's red, like kind of that one. Yep, and you guys should kind of walk on up to it. I'm not gonna bother using the same method. It's not too much effort. I don't think it'll be that long. Okay, there's like same two kind of fancy looking guards outside.
Okay, if you take words,
I would
otherwise I
sing
will
that
charge
song
it.
too.
Okay. I will walk up with my swag And be like, I am Alcamenos, champion of the Triton Assembly. We are here on a quest and we seek the aid of your merchant prince. And I'm kind of like, but she is a woman, is she not a princess?
They kind of just look at each other and they don't really answer, and they're like, wait. They kind of want him goes inside.
How much waiting?
You know, it's like a good like, you know, maybe 3 minutes. You guys just kind of like waiting, and he kind of like comes out and he kind of looks at you kind of offensively, and he's you say you Triton?
I just know. Is this not obvious?
Yeah, I mean, it's like she's heard of you. Go in. They
Heard
kinda,
of
like... and
Progress.
you know, they kind of like, you know, one of them opens the door and like walks in, and the other one, you know, stays at the door.
Yep.
As you go inside, this place is, you know, similarly as well furnished as Wakanda's like villa. There's like one of the differences here is, well, we seem to have like, you know, magic symbols, stuff like that. She's got a lot of like kind of weapons and kind of shields like displayed on the walls. Lots of various types. You see, like, you know, there's one which you're unaware of that, like, but when you see it, you notice like quite a few of the guards and the ones at the door like have this special kind of weapon, which is like quite a long, like kind of like similar to a spear, I guess you could say, but slightly different. Has like a black tip, and there's like, you know, some shields, and she also has a lot of cages of parrots that, like, you know, happily squawking around.
For cages of pants?
Parrots.
Parrots.
Change your pants.
Cages of parrots. Yeah. And as you kind of walk in, you know, there's like a little kind of sitting area lounge, and as you enter the room, a woman comes out of, you know, one of the other side rooms, and she kind of like beats her hand. You know, she's like quite a tough looking woman, you know. Like you're not sure exactly like what she does, like apart from like, you know, she is in charge of, you know, selling like weapons, you know, and like canoes and like most traveling gear, but you're not sure, you know, exactly how she got to this.
Oh, we know she's also in charge of the weapons? Okay.
There's no handout for
Sure.
a picture.
I don't believe so, but I will check really quick. Oh no, there is. Sorry.
You said she was buff.
She is buff. Look at those. I mean, you
Okay.
can't see her body, but look at she got scars all over her face. Her neck's pretty
I
white.
can't.
Yeah,
see,
we don't have a handout yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
here it's coming.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's
okay, she's buff.
Well, it's a little bit tough.
broad-shouldered.
Yeah. Okay, and she kind of, you know, like raises her hands. Is like, "You're a Triton, yes. She kind of points you like, I fought one of you."
And you live to tell the tale.
Kind of laughs like, "I've lived to tell many tales." She kind of, "What brings you to my villa?"
I'm gonna look at Richard Swap. I am Alcamenos, champion of the Triton Assembly.
I see that.
I have come to your islands on a quest to aid those that walk the land.
Very righteous.
Sounds like a fucking tavern keep.
Yeah.
She's pretty chill.
We have heard tale that you are in charge of the canoes. We require one for this quest.
And there was problem finding one?
There was problem. Well, I'm gonna look at Richard. What was the problem?
We have unfortunately had some problems with other inhabitants here and lost a large portion of our finances. So we would see if there was anything we could do for you within the jungles to perhaps acquire a bit of a discount on one of the canoes.
Yeah, I think, I've had that problem myself in my life. She kind of found like, I do not work much in the jungle. That's not my area of interest. She kind of like kind of thinks things. She's like, please take a seat. You know, she gestures like, you know, it's just like basically cushions on the floor. It's not actually like.
Yep.
That could
I
just
would-
take it. Just take it and walk out.
Don't mind if I do.
So, you know, she kind of, you know, as you sit down, and she's like, you know, thinks it's like, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. No, she kind of gestures to you, Alcamenos.
I gesture to myself. Just like I just raise my hand, like.
Clearly, clearly. She's like, I often arrange some, fights in the Grand Colosseum. I can't obviously give you a canoe for free. That would be, oh, I didn't get to where I was today by doing silly stuff like that. But if you help me out, I could maybe look to give you one for your journey.
I would fight one of your champions.
No, this isn't a day for a large event, but we often have smaller spectacles for the common folk. It's, to be honest, it's mainly an excuse for betting rather than the actual fight itself. But you kind of think, what would you be willing to fight? We have tigers, zombies, ghouls, some other gladiators if that's what you prefer. Think maybe some velociraptors in the cages.
Now, I wish we had leveled up. I feel confident.
Yeah, as she kind of sees you look a little, oh no, you don't look nervous, right?
No, I look.
Champion of the Titan Assembly.
I don't look
that's why
enthused
she's
about it.
mentioning
I'm like, I do not take pleasure in fighting without a cause. But
No, it's for money, not without a cause.
if we require this canoe, I will. Whatever fights that will allow us to have you provide one with us.
Kind of looks you up and down. Like the Velociraptors always put on a good show.
Feel like the blob.
Velociraptor sounds like it will fucking kill me.
She's like,
Hi, you'll be
looks at you.
fine.
Like we will normally stop the fight before you die. Normally.
Normally.
She kind of looks up and down. It's like, you're a seasoned fighter, yes? You say you are a champion.
Indeed.
Kind of saying,
champion,
trying to count up how many you could take.
Are we talking like fucking Jurassic Park Velociraptors?
No,
Or like-
Velociraptors are not.
Like
Velociraptors
little-
are not
like
big.
little- like
They're
t-
not
like
big.
chicken-sized
They're
Velociraptors.
large turkey-sized, but they're they're a lot of
pretty
claws.
strong,
They're a lot of
though.
claws and
That's-
stuff, so it looks pretty good in a fight.
Dude,
but
you
there's
can't
also,
be
blood and stuff.
scared of a big turkey. You gotta fight a jacket.
Well, Akaminos has no idea what a Velociraptor is, but it sounds scary.
So she's like, we had you going against kind of things. 3 or 4.
I will do it if it requires me so.
It'd be good for a show. I can.
We have haste. Could you arrange this tonight?
Yeah, that can be done in a night. That's no problem. I'm sure you will attract many interested gamblers. Not often they see a Triton fight.
I stand up at this and say, so you have heard our tales. We are the defenders of the seas.
Of course, like I said, I have fought one of you before. I was a
I
gladiator
kinda-
myself for many years.
As she's saying that, I just point my hand, look at Richard, like, see?
But I haven't had the opportunity very often. It's only been once or twice, I think. Kind of looks like she's trying to remember because your brain isn't as good as it used to be. She's
A lot of brain damage.
But you always put on a good show with the. She kind of gestures with the beautiful tridents, of course. I
Right.
have one of those myself, as a matter of fact. But yeah, she's like, very well. If you're willing to do it for me, I can write you a letter of bargain, and you should be able to exchange with any of our suppliers for a canoe.
Okay, I know. I'm gonna say, tell me where to fight.
She's like, oh, you haven't seen the Colosseum yet. It is beautiful. She kind of, it's just north of the Red Bazaar. You know that? The Red Bazaar is where you're staying. Yeah. It's like she's obviously talking about this thing.
Oh yeah. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, I just no.
She's like, okay, if you kind of thinks if you arrive there at 6 o'clock, we will get you set up. I'm assuming you will only use your own weapon, of course. Do you require? She kind of looks. You don't wear any armor, right? She's like, do you require armor? We can always lend you some for the fight.
No.
She's like, you have your correct?
No, yeah. No, I was like looking at my AC. I'm like,
Full plate, man. Just take the full plate.
I really want to out of character, but in character I wouldn't. So I would just say, wow, like not necessary.
What is your AC, buddy?
14.
Beautiful, beautiful. She's like,
You'll be fine, Django.
I'll be fine.
she's like,
Say,
okay,
I've always
it's,
wanted to try metal armor.
She's like, okay, it's a deal, and she goes to shake your hand.
I bam.
Oh, we're doing a handshake.
What have
again.
you? What have you
Until
got
they
yourself
tell
into?
me not to.
What have you got yourself into?
Maybe you will really well. And she's like, oh, maybe more Velociraptors, huh?
No! Oh my god!
She crushes you.
Holy
and you like kind
shit.
of grip her, and you're like, that was a good grip, good work. Yeah. Just kind of like fucking just like crushes it.
Like in a normal hand, like you could see just a bulge, like.
Yeah. Like this is like you've shook some like this is
Yeah.
way stronger than a dwarf, for instance.
You now have disadvantage on all attack rolls you make until you finish
Pretty
a long
much.
rest.
Pretty much. But yeah, so she like gives you a good grip while smiling, and she's like, I'll see you tonight. I'll be watching from the stands.
Okay, I kind of like grip my hand like in defeat, and just as I exit, I mumble, "Merchant Prince of Combat, indeed."
But like as you kind of head the door, she's like, she kind of like really quickly is like, oh, one moment, and she quickly scribbles something down and hands it to you.
Ah, she wants to give it now, sure.
Yeah. She's good. She's good. She trusts you not to show up, or if you don't, she'll
Let's
do
fucking
something.
skedaddle, boys.
She kind of waves you off. It's like, have a pleasant day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right,
Rest in peace.
free
Oh,
canoe there.
just give her a nod when I leave.
I mean, okay, so I'll have to make a new character, but we'll get a free canoe. I'll-
You've become the guy, Jacko.
Ooh.
Nah, you
Ooh.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
Ooh.
okay, so you guys, what are you up to now? Are you just heading back to the inn, or you got anything else you want to do?
Risha wants to do anything?
Nothing particular.
No, okay. And what were the other you two up to again? Do you know what you're doing? Just chilling.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. You're just
Give me the
We
nation
would
somewhere,
go
I'm
to
going
the
there
temple,
too.
by the way, and
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, so-
okay, yeah. You go back to temple where he's kind of inside. If you knock on a door.
yeah.
Ah.
no.
You two, it's good to see you again. Did you
Indeed.
decide if you have time?
We have
Yeah.
conferred and...
We will be staying another day.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm sure my God will see fit to help you in your journey. Like I said, come tomorrow, anytime after the temple opens, I will be finished.
Alright.
Thank you.
Kind of nods. Just, looks like he's going to get ready back to work unless you have any other questions.
Yeah. I'll just head up.
Okay.
Hello.
Chris, what are you up to? You just like kind of chatting with locals and stuff?
Yeah, no, okay, so one thing I do want to do, I remembered just as everyone's leaving, but I got to catch Azaka before she gets too far. I don't know what she's up to. I think she's just hanging around, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, okay, to Azaka, and I want to say, so, not sure how much of a big deal this is, but I heard from a fellow last night that it might be worth looking into possibly acquiring an exploration charter or something before heading out into the jungle to avoid earning the ire of the flaming fist.
She kind of thinks, she's like, it is true, that would be the safe option. She kind of thinks it's like, any land we are exploring north of Kitcher's Inlet, that is technically their land to control. She kind of thinks, she kind of like talks about it. It really depends how much you're willing to risk it. There's a small chance we encounter them while in the jungle. The jungle is big and they are few, but if we do so, they will force us to hand over belongings probably in much more worth than the charter. And
How expensive is an exploration charter?
she kind of thinks it's like, it is 150 gold pieces.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
She kind of shrugs like, on your head be it. But I agree. If we are not unlucky, should
I
be
can
no
run
problem.
pretty fast. I'm sure we'll be fine.
She kind of laughs like, I can do that myself. I will trust your judgment. You are the boss.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose so.
Well, if you are if I am working for you, you are mine.
Sure. The boss. Yes. Well, the boss has some time to kill. I'm gonna go and yes, I think it would be right. I'm going to go and apologize to all of the other guides and tell them that we won't be going with them. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day exploring. I guess I shall see you probably at the temple tomorrow morning to receive our blessings. I kind of shrug. That's what I heard.
She's like, oh, okay. That sounds good. Just if you pop in here in the morning before you head over,
Sure.
I will join you.
Excellent. Will do. Well, until then.
Mm-hmm.
Nice skedaddle. And yeah, so I don't know if I don't know, as you want to roleplay like any of them in particular. I just want to go and like to each of the guides you spoke to yesterday, because it kind of gives me an excuse to go like just to meander, spend the whole day meandering around the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
most of them seem like just like made the wrong choice, but
yeah,
I'm gonna regret it.
Sure.
Salida seems like quite like she's like, oh, are you sure I could always come help out in some other manner? I'm sure the more the merrier, no? If it's such a great evil, then surely we need all the help we can get to defeat it.
Where's the insights guy?
Yeah, I have a button for situations like this.
Wait, who is this?
Salida, the one who said she didn't know what the relic was, but like knew what it was, but like didn't tell us.
Had no
I
idea.
just wondering, am I around listening to this?
No.
Or is this okay?
I mean, what I originally suggested was that when Alcamenos and Richard go off to speak to the trade princess, that you and I I was going to drag you along, unless you really didn't want to come, as I just kind of went around the town, just like exploring the whole of Port Nyanza all
You
day.
can be with a few.
But like, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think I would play around with you then.
Sure.
I wouldn't like just like I'd be just like okay.
She still seems a bit weird. Like she's really eager for some reason.
I'm gonna do an insight as well. In that case, if I'm around.
Okay.
Got it.
You think she
Okay.
sounds pretty authentic? Like there's an evil,
say-
right? And she wants to stop it.
A good person.
Sorry, no, you made a very convincing case, but we looked at certain other elements of information we gathered, and they lined up pretty well with what Azarka wanted to do anyway, in exchange for waiving her fee.
Azarka. Looks like she fell for her kind words. I understand. You will.
We certainly did. But, when it doesn't work out with her, we'll starting to remember. You know, you told us so.
Okay. He
Anyway.
kind of shrugs, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you just meandering around.
Yeah. So I want to also take the time to talk to Zeno and find out about Zeno.
Ooh.
Me too. I would like to find out about Zeno.
I would like to find out about
like,
Zeno.
so you furbolg, huh? Through a forest.
What an opener.
Yeah.
I heard about you from. Well, I heard about furbolgs from the giants. Did you get on with the giants?
Yes, we are a kind of giants.
I thought so. Yes, but how tall are you? You're like 7 feet tall or something? Like 8. I don't know. How tall are you? Sure.
7, 8.
7 foot 8. Okay. It's like yes, you are rather, aren't you? Do you speak Jotun?
I do.
I'm like, me too in Jotun. I start like chatting away, and yeah, like Sky has like a pretty good gift for languages. He speaks like Jotun really kind of with colloquialisms and everything because he just learned it by like living with giants for 4 years. And yeah, so and I want to spend like so I don't know, you know, we have that moment, and then I just want to kind of find out all about Zeno and like what where Zeno came from and what Zeno's done and what Zeno believes in and what Zeno cares about. And,
Yeah.
A lot of questions.
but my food delivery is going to be at the door in like 2 seconds.
Okay,
so
so
maybe
it's like almost take that
formulate
your answer. I'm
formulate your answer.
But that's fuck's sake. That's a lot of answers.
I mean, you don't have to answer, but I just want to like I don't know, just give us the this is about, you know. I literally just want to find out your backstory. That's basically what I'm trying to do. You don't have to tell me all of it, but like you know.
Sure.
Where'd you come
You
from?
don't have to
Where'd
tell
you
him any of it if you don't want to.
You can make up
Yeah,
the
no, I know.
lies.
Or you can tell him to fuck off and ask some other giant.
Where you gotta go to after Ian?
Like every year, the coach of like the volleyball team does like a day where like I invite him on his house and we have like food and drinks and stuff and just hang out at the end of the season.
Fancy
Yeah,
person.
it's really nice. But he's like quite, he's not fancy, but like he's kind of knows his beer really well. So like there's always like craft beer and stuff like that, and he like supplies alcohol and he makes like loads of food and it's like really nice. And he has like
You
a
get
that a
drunk
good
as fuck,
season?
huh?
a couple years ago, one of the guys got so fucking wasted. Like holy shit. Yeah, we were like,
Was it a good season for you, Ian?
it was okay. Like we ended up I think third in the league, which was okay. But like it was weird. But we started well and then we
Not
lost.
winning,
But we
not
were like
winning.
the only team to like we like played the team that won and we were the only team to beat them twice. But that was the only times they lost in the league. And we were like, why the fuck did we beat them? But like,
Come on, Ian! You
I
had a
gotta say-
chance to win!
I got to sing this year. Like because I've been in
That's how I
like,
felt
a
last-
uni
that's how I
team
felt
for a
last
while.
raid.
I got like a little certificate being
What?
like, ooh.
That's how I fucking felt last raid. And wow. Oh wait,
Yeah.
no one who was here was here. We
Everyone
we
hates
fucking white phase on the first boss and we Annihilation the second one. It was much harder. It was really fucking dumb.
So
Yeah.
Tom, what are your answers?
Yeah.
to
Which
your
you- Oh, Crucible, no battle.
So yeah, in universe
yeah,
we're
yeah.
like we've stopped for lunch and we're sitting around eating something.
questions? Ooh.
Okay.
In the street. We'll take some copper off in a second.
Yeah.
What would be your first question? Let's just
Yeah, we
Let
can
me
all play
ask
it.
you. Where do you come from? Is that like
Yeah, where are you from? That's always places are of special importance to Sky. You like
Yeah.
maps and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm a wanderer now, but originally Neverwinterwood, but to the north.
Ah, yes.
Born and grew up there. You have a family or sorry, I don't know much about Furbolg society.
Well, I did. Not anymore. So I'm wanderer.
I see.
Probably still don't know this to being a wanderer yourself.
Well, I'm more of a settler. I just change where I settle from time to time. But yes, I take your
Not much
point.
difference there.
So, where have you wandered?
Not far. Haven't been on the road long.
How did Lady Sylvain find you?
I heard about thing from my acquaintances.
And Chult sound like the kind of place to you? Got a big jungle on it.
Sounds great to me.
Probably quite
Exploring.
different from the Neverwinter Wood, though, if I'm any judge.
Oh yes, definitely.
But do you feel
Makes it so
confident
exciting.
nevertheless? Oh,
Makes it more exciting.
I could not agree more. This place, it's the difference. It's the, I don't even know what this is I'm eating, but it's delicious. It's, you know, the people and the different beliefs and all, I just love it. And isn't Alcamanos amazing?
It's a crazy eyebrow. Sure.
He's so bizarre. Everything about the man is just absolutely different from anyone I've ever met. I love him. I can't wait to go and get killed in the jungle with him.
Now you expect to die in the jungle?
No, that was just gallows humor. I don't expect us to face anything particularly nasty.
It's a jungle. Even a regular forest can be very dangerous.
I mean, it's
You
two
should be a bit
Annihilation
close.
campaign. It's like, you know.
You should be more careful.
It's not a welcoming name.
Oh.
and
I'll be careful.
Don't worry, but I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm sure Lady Sylvain wouldn't be sending us to our deaths. I kind of think back to that weird expression on her mask. Like, Anyway,
Well, if nothing else, I'm sure Akadi will watch over us.
so, what's it like in the Neverwinter Woods?
Foresty.
Nice. Lot of just the furbolgs that live there, or
Well, not anymore.
not anymore? What happened?
Demons.
Demons
Yeah.
in the woods?
Yeah.
To the whole woods?
I don't know.
Oh. Does anyone know? Is someone doing something about it?
I don't know.
Fair enough. Kind of thinking now about that, like the Neverwinter Woods being full of demons. And no. Like, Sky doesn't say anything. Sky doesn't say anything for a couple of minutes, and then you know.
Well, they came, killed everyone, and left.
That's pretty terrifying, but I suppose it's what demons do.
Chaos invasion right
So
here.
so sorry. Did people you knew?
Yes.
That
Everyone.
must have been awful.
Hmm.
Do you want to talk about it?
Aren't
Sky
you
is
already?
such a good guy.
Look, man, I'm here for you. Like, you know. Sky's looking quite emotional at this. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
you just told him, like, you know, everyone you knew got murdered by demons. Like, he's quite an empathic guy. Like, he's
It's
looking
quite the
quite
backstory, yeah.
worked up. Do you want to talk about it? Or... Okay, well, you know.
And if you see any demons,
Right, yes, of course. We'll
it's gonna
kill those demons.
Yes.
You see any demons, let me know.
Shan't expect we'll see any demons in the... I shan't expect we'll see any demons in the jungle, though.
I don't think so. But you never
But
know.
if we do, yes. Well, should we continue? I can't wait to see what's over this way, and then lead off into I don't know. I just want to spend like literally the whole day walking
Okay.
around.
So
seeing
yeah, we can
everything.
basically every
Everything.
day spending the day doing this. You learn about the demons.
Hmm?
So apart from the going to the villa and then going to the temple, what were you other two doing? You just like going back to the inn and hanging out?
I would get bored. I would like probably go to like the big temple maybe,
The big by that you mean
like the golden one.
21. Oh, sorry, no, the number you don't see that. Okay, yeah, that 21. Okay.
But I
yeah,
don't necessarily
if you
want
go
to.
there.
Yeah. Like I've already like gotten or like promised. I've gotten a promise from a blessing, so I'm not really looking for like the priest or anything. I just want to walk around, see what's up.
Yeah, it's just very, very fancy. It's a temple to a Joaquin, but if you talk and if like when people walk around and they talk about it, you kind of hear conversation. People normally do call it the Hall of Gold, like the golden roof. And when like it's sun shining, which is today, like you see it from like the others, fully from miles away. Like there's nowhere in the town you can't see it.
I would ask where he's going and tell him that I'm staying here for the others,
Cool.
waiting for the others here.
At the
Alright.
inn.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, it's quite interesting. Like there's a lot of people there. It also seems like it functions basically as a bank, but I don't know if you know what a bank is. So from what you can tell, people kind of go there and deposit money, and then they just kind of leave. So you're like, why are people giving all this money to this guy behind? That's but oh well.
He's a rich man.
Yeah, it's yeah, like there are people praying, but also it looks like this is also almost like a place of work.
Okay.
What a good combination of things.
Yeah.
Bank and a temple.
So does it kind of look like they're offering goals from a certain perspective?
I guess. I mean, it
I could
looks
make that
like
conclusion,
they're
maybe?
That's like talking, and then they hand over pouches of gold and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're offering gold. Makes sense. Alright. Yeah, and then after like I don't know an hour, I'll walk back.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say like you guys all basically end up. You know, Jacko, you were told. Sorry, Alchemanos, you were told you wanted to be there at 6. We'll say like it's like 5 o'clock. You guys like all back in the end. You've all kind of made your way back. You know, after spending most of the day outside. You wanted like a little break.
Richard, is Patrick, you still here?
I went to get some water.
Okay,
He
Richard.
I still had that sit on, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, you guys all kind of beat yourself up.
I put a writ on the table for the canoe.
Oh, fantastic! A writ for a canoe.
Now, Alchemanos needs to fight 4 Velociraptors.
I'm sorry.
Well, the merchant prince did not believe in our quest, so I was offered a trade, and I would fight in their arena.
Against velociraptors?
Yes. Are
What the hell's a
they?
velociraptor?
I
Yeah,
do not
that's
know.
exactly.
Yeah, and you guys like.
They're not afraid of
What
it.
makes you think you can fight 4 of them?
I want to say because I'm me.
Just look at me. How could I not?
How would I phrase that? Because I believe in my strength.
Well, do you have to do it alone?
I believe so. What, do you wish to join me in battle?
Well, if it stops you from getting torn to pieces by whatever the hell a velociraptor is.
This might be... Yes, this might be a worthy cause in order to gain our battle synergy. A good test. Look at the other two. Are you willing to join us in battle?
If the merchant prince accepts it, sure.
Look at Zeno.
Sure.
Alcamanos, why were you willing to fight alone against 4 completely unknown creatures for a canoe?
Because it would aid us in our quests. I thought that without this canoe we would be slow in
Slow?
our progress.
Yes. Fair enough, I suppose. Okay, no. Well, I guess we're fighting velociraptors now, if we all can.
Alright. In that case, I'll stand up and go towards the merchant prince again. See if we can change
Oh,
the
so you-
alter the deal.
Okay, so like
Well, I'm
it's
coming
pretty
this
soon, so
time.
you were meant to
I'm
be
coming.
there at like 6, and it's like
It's like 5:30 at this point.
yeah, well, it's like 10 past 5, but you quickly hurry there and you
I'm
get
definitely
maybe,
coming
maybe
this
get
time.
there at about half past.
I don't want
Wait, so
anything else
is
agreed
everyone
to.
going or just you two?
I think everyone should come this time. I think a tactical error was made. And,
Okay, so you're going. Okay.
We're all going.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of get there. The guards like, yes.
We have further business with your prince.
He just kind of nod like, please wait. Yeah, please this time. And then he heads inside. Short of like minute now, and like he comes back and it's like enter.
Okay, we enter.
And as you walk in, you see that the Ekiniafa, she's kind of like looks like she's almost getting ready to leave. Like she's like getting dressed up and quite like it's like it looks like leather armor, but it's very like more sort of like fancy. More ceremonial than it would be actual for fighting. And, she's not fighting. She just it's used to wearing this kind of stuff probably. And she's like, "Oh, Comendos, you are still here. You are fighting very soon."
Yes,
And she
we
kinda looks and is
we
like,
will
"Ah,
be
these-
on our way shortly.
These your other friends?
These are my companions indeed.
Ah,
They have
Taxi and a Furbolg, yes? You are
By the way,
quite the unusual party.
hi. Yes, aren't we just? My name's Sky.
By the way,
Sorry.
guys, do whatever you can without me. By the way, I'll be like 5 minutes or so.
He wasn't talking.
My
to
dad's birthday. Just saying.
Oh,
Just
okay.
kidding.
you.
happy
Ah.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
ready to
birthday!
fight.
You can say happy birthday from all of us.
Yeah, do that.
I remember. I've had dinner with him. You've had dinner with him, Jack.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, I remember this. He was a nice guy. Alright.
I say they wish to join me in the arena.
Well, actually,
Oh, the whole four of you.
hang on. Before, sorry, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Firstly, I'm given to understand that my friend, and I kind of put my hands on Alcamanos' shoulder, Alcamanos here has agreed to fight for velociraptors for a canoe, and
Indeed, yes.
we'd come to ask, in fact, what a velociraptor is.
And she kind of like, oh, you. And she kind of looks at you. Oh, very brave, Agamemnon, to agree to that. But even
Isn't
knowing
he
what
just?
these things are.
Like,
Like
I
a
you
champion.
feel me like dig my claws slightly into your shoulder?
Like, a Velociraptor
lightly.
is not too scary as far as dinosaurs go. They're an aggressive predator, but they normally hunt in packs to bring down larger prey, such as yourself, just as your Agamemnon.
Slightly larger.
And it's like they are perhaps the size of. She kind of like, you know, I don't know, they have turkey, so she's like, you know, like
A large chicken.
like a fairly big thing, but it's mainly because of the claws and it can scratch. It's quite hard.
I kind of like. I look warily, like wishing her hands would make like a small emotion. That's like too big. That's like bigger than I want it to be.
And she's like, I mean, you said you were a champion of the Tritons. Yes, I assumed 4 would be a not too difficult fight.
But what if the rest of us wanted to get in on the glory, as he said? I said,
I
kind
guess
of
we
wincing
could
as
think
I say
of
it.
a larger dinosaur. She kind of thinks, oh, I can see what we have available. She kind of thinks, like, I think the Triceratops is not yet ready. She kind of thinks, like, we have some undead, I believe, that we captured, that we were willing to use in a later date. But if we have 4 new adventures, all from far-off regions, I'm sure that would be a good show. We could, we have a few goals, we have some skeletons and zombies to add to it.
I look at the others and say, battling on that will be useful in our days to come.
So
if
might the
you're going in the fire.
Velociraptors be, but I do think we have better odds as a group against anything than Alcheminos has against 4 savage dinosaurs that excel at hunting in packs against a single larger foe.
Yeah, that's right. So it would be a good fight.
I say,
I think if we want
Please,
this canoe, we should
do
do
not
this.
doubt my strength.
I'll doubt what I
doubting
want,
yours.
Alcheminos. We're talking about life and death here.
And although I'm not doubting your strength, Alcheminos, I'm not doubting the Velociraptor strength fighter.
You kind of like, okay, we can make this work. She kind of looks to the four of you. It's like you are all seasoned fighters, yes?
Yes.
Okay, she kind of thinks. She's kind of adding up. She's like, we have 5. I think we have 5 zombies, 5 skeletons, 2 goals.
5 zombies, 5 skeletons, and 2 ghouls.
As looking back at Cursed Strahd,
That seems like quite a lot to you guys. Like,
yes,
that seems
that's
like quite
a lot.
I look at Richard and say,
Up
this
to your
one
talent?
has professed to be more of a traveler than a fighter.
I see. Well, we could take away the goals. 5 zombies, 5 skeletons.
I'm really just an anthropologist.
She kind of chuckles. She's like, you said you're a seasoned fighter, no?
I've seen a lot of fights.
No, seen a fighter. No, seasoned, my friend.
Well, I practiced a bit with a bow.
Okay. She kind of looks at you. It's like, there will be 4 of you. I do not think 10 undead should be a significant problem. I mean, I believe it will be easier than what you face in the coming days.
I look at the others like, come on now, let's...
All right, well, you know, we didn't come all the way to Chult to not fight undead. We may as well get it started.
Exactly.
Excellent. And you all have weapons and armor, yes? Even if you are just a traveler?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. And of course, like I said, these fights are not normally to the death. At least not for new entries. We will be there and have many gladiators on the side if it looks like you are not going to live through it.
I know.
I would hate for your adventure to be cut short so soon.
Hate to wipe before we get into the jungle.
It's like, but you should be hurrying. I still would like to start it.
Actually, on the subject of weapons, I couldn't borrow some arrows. Could I have a limited supply? You know, since you're offering.
She kind of looks at you with a bit pitiful face, right? Like, well, no, not right. Like, she does. She looks at you with, like, slightly pitiful. But, like, you're like an anthropologist, I'm not really forward, and she's telling you to step out and dead. She's like, I'll do you one better. I'm in a generous mood. Wait a moment. And she kind of goes off into a back room, and she,
A legendary
back
bow.
a quiver of arrows, and she's like, these have been enchanted by Wakanda. they will prove slightly more effective in the fight.
Ah, Wakanda forever. As I take them.
I didn't choose his name. Wakanga, not Wakanda. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Wakanga.
it's
I
not
didn't
even
choose it.
Wakanda. Oh.
It's Wakanga. It's very
No.
similar. Okay, so yeah, it's a equivalent of 20 plus 1 hours.
Nice. Excellent.
Nice.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll nod to her and say, we'll proceed with haste.
Excellent. I will follow you as it is. I am on my way there myself.
Okay.
You see her kind of grab like from like just like one. There's like the walls kind of covered with various weapons on display, and she kind of grabs one
Just
really
like,
at random, which is similar to it's like that the Yuktala or whatever. Like I said, that like it's the one you see a lot of guards using. It seems to be like, I guess, Colt's version of a spear, but hers is like really fancy looking, and has like not like. Well, when I say really fancy, not like ornate necessarily, but like incredibly well made and like very like.
It's a masterwork.
Yeah, if that was a thing, but probably
Yeah,
also.
exactly. If it was a thing, it would be a masterwork.
Okay, and yeah, you guys will start heading towards the arena.
On the way, I will say...
To the arena.
I will say to the party, like, I am confident in myself, but I appreciate you joining me in this combat. It is a testament to your bravery.
Well,
Gotta start somewhere.
exactly. It will be good to see what everyone has to offer on the battlefield as well.
And even if it does go badly, still got 8 lives to go.
You haven't lost any in your travels yet?
Not that I remember.
Okay, I guess I'll get you all set up on a map. We'll be able to cut it out, and then when Tom gets there, it'll be nice and
Nice.
easy.
Nice for Sino, like going into the building, the next thing he remembers is in our arena.
Dude, it's
facing
been a
10
long
enemies.
time since we had an arena fight.
Oh, man, I was really hoping it was going to be like a group of goblins that I could like try and talk to and like succeed. Like, negotiate a settlement in the middle of a bloodthirsty chanting crowd.
If only.
Just like arrange like a wrestling thing where it's all fake.
Yeah. Oh, they would have loved it, man.
What are these? What are those, Ian?
It's zombies, my friend.
They're
Are
like
those normal
magic.
zombies or
Hey,
magic zombies?
hey, I didn't say shit.
What? These gonna be fucking royal skeleton guards?
Wait, that's not 5. That's way more than 5. What?
That's way more than 5.
That's not the right number.
And then some skeletons.
Oh boy.
Fucking walking up in formation and shit. Like,
Yeah, the skeletons don't have bows, right? That'd be crazy. They can't handle bows.
We'll check. Wait, oh, when I drag it on more than 5 automatically. Okay, interesting. I can check for you, Jacko.
like we gotta get one shot if these guys got bows. Can be,
They
like, one.
do have some sort of bow.
Oh god.
Ah, and they have formation?
Oh, yeah. Like that. Nah, they did everything else. They don't have formation. I'm only gonna have a couple of my bows. But they have bows. I think if like they were actually they would a couple with bows would be more interesting for like an arena fight. Okay.
No, it's not safe
But-
for the spectators, Ian.
Yeah, wouldn't they?
I gotta think about that,
if
right?
not-
That's true.
if
That's
Skeleton-
Can't give him bows. They're just gonna shoot into the
Smart.
ground.
fine. They don't have any bows.
Smart.
Nice.
Give an undead weapon.
200 IQ.
We're gonna use this. I'm not gonna make this map any bigger.
They just have like a bunch of monks
Can we
like,
have our
around the arena to catch all the arrows. There.
Oh my god, that's so huge!
Yeah, look, he's ready for fighting.
Whoa.
How
That's
small I
so
am.
good. You can control that and
normally.
everything, right, Jacko?
Yeah.
Man, we are
Yeah,
in
you guys
funky
HP. I'm just looking at your guys HP and then looking at theirs.
This
It's
is
like,
weird.
oh,
Okay, so
That's
I
a
don't know,
lot of
I don't know
HP.
if this is going to be something to do with the token setups, Ian, but I can see my HP with the
Okay, where have you dragged me into? Okay, what the fuck?
Okay, we're
think
4
I
level
can
1s
see-
against 10 enemies. This is gonna be interesting.
Where have you dragged me into, guys? What the fuck?
I can
What?
see our camera.
What is this different? I was
Oh.
told there would be 4 Velasra.
But not the
number.
You're gonna get there, and you're like, what's happening?
The 4 Velociraptors solo wasn't an option. We figured we got a better chance against this than he had solo against 4 Velociraptors. We're fucking
not sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, what are these things? What are these things?
There are 10,
Zombies.
5 zombies and 5 skeletons.
We're gonna be 2 ghouls, but you managed to convince him not to do that.
What's the CR, guys?
high, okay, but we got it.
It's again, you were told it really isn't it?
Anyway, okay, so I can see Alcheminos' bar, but not his number, and I can't see anyone else's bar.
Yeah,
So I don't know what's up with the
Same.
setting.
I can see my number, but
Just Alcheminos it though, right?
Yeah, I can only see Alcheminos' bar.
I can see mine.
Alcheminos.
Now you can't, right?
Now I can't, yes.
But you can see your own, right?
Yes, with the number.
Oh yeah, that's good. Okay.
Hey,
Also,
hey,
you guys
why can't we see?
Wait, we couldn't see bars in your campaign, Tom, either.
But you said you can see each other's bars, can't you?
Jacko, come on!
No, we can't see each other's bars.
But then if I let you see the bar, you get the HP.
No, we didn't. Well, we didn't see the number on Alcheminos.
You didn't?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We could only
Okay.
see the bar.
Fine, we can do that then.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, Jacko, I could see the bars.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you guys, so just you guys like got to the arena, and then like there was like people organizing it, and they were like kind of interested in there was a lot of questions, but you guys are kind of weird, and they were like asking, and they were like, oh, you done much fighting in arenas? You guys are like, nope. And they're like, okay, look, because this is the first time and you're here just for the spectacle, you're all quite unusual. Like we said, we should try to stop it before any of you die. If
That'd be nice.
if kind of things like if the fight is going that poorly and we believe any of your life is seriously in danger, we have archers on standby that should be able to reduce the effect. But to try to put on a good show. No crying for surrender and making.
I have a drink of something. I'm very worked up at this point. I don't know. I just like half a swig of whatever's. Like I just grab from someone if I have to.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so we are already in the arena, right?
You can like standing behind like the portcullis
yeah.
gateway kind of thing, and they're like all talking to you about
Like
it.
Sky's fur is like all like standing up. He's very unnerved with the whole
Yeah,
situation.
and they're like, well, as you know, you
And
can
my
go in.
shield
There'll be
and,
an announcer. They'll give a quick rundown of your names. They took your names earlier, and like where you're from, and wave to the crowd. Put on a little show. If you've got any, I don't know,
It's quite
in
distant.
particular you want to show off. And then we will begin. So again, make you good. They kind of give you a
Like,
slap
get
on
out
the
my
back.
bow, like pull the string a couple of times to test it. Like,
Wait, so
it's
they're
just-
gonna say our names, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say Alcheminos, champion of the Triton
Yeah,
Assembly.
Okay.
I'm just Zeno.
Okay. Zeno, Richard, and Sky, and then.
if we're getting announced, I give my full name. I give Sky full of stars.
Wait, so what was your thing, Jacko? You wanted? You want Alcheminos,
Champion of the Triton Assembly.
champion of the Triton Assembly. Okay. So like, and so they're like, we're ready. And then so like, you kind of like hear the announcer from outside. You hear, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, an amazing display of 4 new adventurers to this realm.
Sorry, I don't want to. I know you're doing it, but is it cheating to prepare an action?
You can do that, but like, you're not even through the portcullis yet. But you can prepare an action.
Okay, yeah.
So,
but I wanna-
so like, and as they start speeding, like it's starting to rise like in front of you.
Yeah. As
and
soon
it's
as
like-
it's legal, I want to shoot one of the undead.
Okay, like they're not up here yet. They're like still
Yeah,
behind,
yeah.
like a
Sure,
cage on
sure.
the other side.
Okay.
And like you guys, and it opens as like they start talking. These brave 4 adventurers have come to Chult to delve deep into the jungles and explore this ferocious land. And like one of the guys behind you is like,
Okay.
Okay.
and as you kind of step in,
Range.
it's like I'm gonna assume Alchemel steps in first, but
Mhm.
very reluctant character.
Trident
It's like-
race.
This glorious features a Triton from the deep, a champion of the Triton Assembly, Alcheminos! And like the crowd go, and then like who walks in next?
I guess.
Zeno!
And I was like, and this they kind of like it's like a pause. Verbog! And then like brave Dino, his brave companion. And then the next one
I guess I would be.
I put you in
next.
forward. And then it kind of it was his fellow adventurer Richard. The crowd's kind of like yay, but it's not quite the same cheer as you guys like you bowed and shit right when you walked in, like
Yeah.
waved to the crowd at least, yeah.
I don't do shit. I just like.
And then finally
Okay.
it's like A tabaxi named Sky full of stars. Yeah, focus when you move.
He should be used to this kind of name.
And he's a golden code archer, like, and he's like,
Yeah, but it's the bit where I hide
please
behind
complete these brave triple adventurers. Watch as they fight across a horde of undead as they will surely face in the coming days. And then
I'm just
like,
like
oh,
peering
I'm
out
just,
the boat.
yeah, I'm just assuming Sky being like,
That might javelin, man.
and there's like
I'm a
you know, there's like this is like I'll say like you know they're more like kind of stacked up at you, but you know they're kind of like stuck behind like you know like a big core portcullis, Priscilla portcullis.
I
And,
fireball
like,
again.
Any AoE guys we have, this is the time to use the AoE.
Are you like, is anyone prepared anything? Please start it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
as
start
soon
it,
as,
Yeah,
like,
I'll-
it's
I'll,
starting to open the thing, and then the
as-
guy's like, "Let the fight begin!"
as
As-
I have a shot,
I
I wanna
cast
take it.
blast.
as soon as we see the enemies, I also do some.
Okay.
Okay. I wanna. What does Richard have on him? Let's see, like any weapons or anything.
I have a spear and a javelin on my.
Oh,
Well, a spear and a javelin.
In your both hands, or like how are you prepared
No,
for
I-
like battle and shit?
I can cast spells with one hand. Or do I need?
Yeah.
no, you can't do one hand. Yeah.
As a warlock?
Tom, just do your blessing, like put in the chat so you remember.
You can use one hand, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay,
just like.
if I can
I'm just
use one
wondering
hand, then I would have my spear in one hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are you casting bless or not, Tom?
Yeah, I'm casting blast, but I can only do it on
You
3 people.
cast bless. You had a prepared action to shoot right, and then we'll roll initiative.
No, I also have prepared action.
Oh, what's your prepared action?
As Sky loses his arrow, I take out the horn on my belt, blow into it, and
Yeah.
cast Fog Cloud.
Oh snap! Okay.
What does that do?
Blast on.
Piss off the spectators, that's what it does.
You.
Yeah.
I
It's like blowing the horn. Like, yeah.
The clouds clears and we're all
Yeah, so,
alive,
like-
and the
like
spectators are
there's-
"Well, what happened?
like a deep sound, like and like a magic of fog appears like
I've
around
seen
the
this scene
end.
as well.
Around where? Like just around all the, or around all the.
Yeah, like I want it to be like.
You can to do like a 20-foot thing, Jeffrey.
How? Just
Make a 20-foot
draw
circle.
shape.
Okay, let's
20-foot. Oh, it's actually
you
40.
go, yeah,
Shape.
draw shape, and then you start in the box, you hold
can do
Alt
it.
and Shift, and then you just click and drag,
Wait,
and
Alt
it'll
and
make
Alt
it.
and
Yeah,
shift.
you can hold both of them. Wait, is that?
Richard, you're the one without blast.
How
just
big's
saying.
four?
Everyone else
Okay,
has
yeah,
blast.
that's fine.
So
Is
20
this-
foot across is 8
No,
squares.
it's 40 foot across. It's 20-foot radius.
Sorry, a 20 foot radius is, yeah, but it's 8 squares across. So
8
it's
squares across. So way bigger
yeah,
than
1,
that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That size.
Huge.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so
Like,
like put it
round the
like
Okay,
Like,
but you
yeah.
use the arrow at the same time, so you can get the arrow off before you know. the
Yeah,
other
that's
or you aimed anyway, so you can roll to hit.
Nice. Is a +1 magic arrow just +1 to damage?
I believe it should be +1 to everything.
Okay. Well, I don't have that set up, so we'll just
Oh,
add +1 to
yeah.
everything.
And what are you shooting for?
Nice. Doesn't
What
fucking
do?
matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
you-
like, the arrow like goes really close to like the crowd.
No one sees where it goes because it goes into a fog cloud. Nobody knows.
He doesn't hit the fog cloud, Chris.
It goes near the fog cloud.
So like, as you loose up the arrow and like, oh, the fight begins, and now it's like, some crazy Triton magic is at work here, folks. Look at that beautiful fog cloud. You're trying to sell it, even though like it's like, no.
Beautiful fog cloud.
Okay.
Dude, I've definitely seen this scene.
So
So
What
we
the fuck?
initiative.
Yeah, initiative for
initiative?
everyone. How do you? Is there an easy way to? Do I need to like? I gotta click like the initiative.
Well,
thing.
we need to get the thing out.
Yeah, totally.
Oh baby.
Is there an easy way to roll initiative?
Let's do it again.
You can just click on one of them, or just like give them all.
How, if I click on them, it doesn't link to the character sheet. I don't get it.
Well, you have to click on the token for the
Yeah, I
creature, and then click on the creature, and the
Yeah, I did.
and the initiative. And,
Yeah, but I can't get the character sheet by clicking on the thing, which is a team. Oh
What?
wait, I don't wait.
each creature has a character sheet. Click on the token of the creature. Click on initiative, and that token is gonna be put on the initiative.
Click, but like I have to be in the character sheet.
Yeah, for the zombies and shit. Yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
that's how you do
You roll the
initiative
Yeah,
always.
yeah,
so.
yeah. Where's initiative on this fucking thing?
It's like.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but you have to click.
Oh
on the-
god, if you have to do it each time?
Yeah, that's how I've been doing it.
No way. That's gotta be.
Just pre-prepare, or you can like copy paste the token into the corner and they all go the same initiative, if that's how you prefer to do it.
I refuse.
Then just like yeah, but it's like easy. Like you literally just put the thing on the side, the character sheet. Click on the thing, click on that, click on the token, click on that. And just,
Oh,
like,
I can
goes
click
very
on
quickly.
each individual one. Okay. I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
character sheet and all like what the
No,
fuck.
no.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is a long
The
time.
creature, the
Sorry, much.
creature, yeah, the creatures all have the
This is
same
this
character
is
sheet.
just
So
the first time, you know. It'll be faster in the future. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's 2.
Still got a 20. Goddamn.
3. No, that's the same one. 3, 4, 5. It didn't roll that well, and then got the zombies. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, I rolled a 20. Oh, you rolled a 0. Bad. Sucks. Right. Okay.
and now the options are stored by.
Yeah. Okay. So Alchemanos, you can go first because you know you're a player.
Okay.
Oh damn! Not the last one.
Um,
Ooh.
You can click and drag him on the initiative end to make him above.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
If you want.
Thank you.
I will. Let me look up how this works.
The same goes for Sky. By the way, I can see Alcamenos and Sky's names on turn order, but not Richard. Same.
Oh,
I can
that's
see
weird.
Alchemanos and Xenos, but no, that's just fucking weird. I don't know what could possibly be causing that.
It's scroll down.
Mm.
Wait, can't you see it because it's underneath? Like you have to just scroll down, then you can see it. It's just hidden because.
I see Sky, I see
turn order, I
Xenos, and
see-
Alchemanos,
yeah.
but not.
Yeah, I see us three, but not Richard.
Richard is just a blank.
I see
token.
no. I don't see Sino.
Okay, who cares? Just something weird.
Yeah,
Alright, okay, so
Wait,
Alchemanos.
nah, I see Sino. Never mind.
Yeah, you do. You're the one with the weird character sheet. apparently.
Alchemanos, what are you doing?
I look towards Zeno and, well, just glance towards the party. I'm like, the fight begins with me now. And I charge. I use my. Well, okay, well, let's do a slightly tactical. I'll move 30 feet, so like here. But they'll be like. Yeah, I'm not sure about. I'll prepare an action to hit anyone that gets close.
Yeah.
And as a bonus action, I will rage. Well, as I run, I will let out.
Rage does end right.
Yeah, I just wanna remind you because Jack.
Yeah. Well, no, it ends if at the end of my next turn I don't attack or.
Isn't it at the start of your next? I don't know. Actually, you could be right.
No, because I read up on it just now. Wait, I can link it.
If it's like at the end of your next.
It ends early if you haven't attacked also creatures since your last turn or taken damage since then.
Yeah.
Since your last
It ends early if you haven't attacked since your last turn.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
taken
don't
damage
rage yet.
since then.
Don't rage.
Don't range yet.
Unless, unless one gets
If your turn begins and no one's moved up, no one has got close enough to you to attack or attacked you, then it'll just.
Oh, okay. In that case, I won't rage, and I'll be slightly more tactical because I'm not angry yet. I'll take the dodge action. I'll just like be guarded with my tridents.
Okay. So you're taking the dodge action and you did moved. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The skeletons start running from the fog. It's like that scene.
Fucking, it's like that scene, man. I'm terrified. Oh, shit was scary.
And they like it's just running up like screaming and like.
Oh god, he's the Dothraki. That's what you are. Okay.
But I know, my trident isn't even on fire.
The next one just like also runs and like gets there. This zombie.
What is this? You moved them in a different order, and Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't matter. Richard, your turn. 3 have now
Okay.
kicked out of the fog.
I would.
One shot, 2 of them. Come on.
Sure. I would walk up a bit, like so, and then I would Eldritch Blast. That one.
Nice.
He's a
Demonic
warlock
magics.
boy.
Demonic magics.
Roll the hit.
Yep.
Which one? Huh? Which one are you hitting?
The closest one.
It misses.
Oh.
It kind of has, some scraps of armor
So-
left on its body.
What
These
is-
don't have more than 12 AC, buddy.
What does it look like, Potrak?
I would say like it's. Like when I think of normal warlocks, it's like a gray and black like swirl that flies at them and hits them. But I'm imagining Richard's is like more like silvery and
Ooh.
A bit
Are you one of those divine warlocks, huh?
Yes, I'm a divine warlock.
This music isn't quite right, but I imagine it's slightly.
No,
No, it's not better.
no.
it's not better.
Need some proper like
Yeah,
fighting
I
Proper
don't
combat
undead
music.
sound
think you
music.
guys would be
Like
doing
some Battle for Winterfell
Ian,
music.
Ian. Yeah, I was just gonna say some undead sounds from Battle for Winterfell. Easy.
Ooh. I don't think
Some
anyone's made
arrows
out of
are-
wood.
that was Christian muted, but that was the sound of Sky.
Wait, what was that exactly?
Okay, there you go. You got that flying on my feet. Okay. So, Chris, what are you? No, not Chris. Sorry, Richard. That's your whole turn.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
There's a skeleton. These are one of the two ones with a thing, but it's heavily obscured. Genius tactics.
Oh,
Kinda-
they have thing, guys.
It runs out like here, and it just
Whoa.
takes a shot. At
Whoa.
What?
With
Well, what is this bullshit?
Oh no, I said
They're
none of them
bows
did.
now?
I
No
said
bows.
none of them-
No
I said
bows.
none of them did.
Fucking
Right,
fuck
right,
off with
right.
your bows.
I like, this one runs over here.
It runs out there and realizes it doesn't have a bow.
It's like, what happened? This one runs to there.
Okay, they're swarming us, guys.
This one runs to
What do you expect? They're fucking undead.
there.
Well,
This one runs to
Bless you.
here.
thanks.
Sky, your turn. The horde is left the
Okay.
cloud.
I will use my tabaxi
Ooh.
double move thing
Mhm.
to move to there.
Mhm.
And then I will
Right in the
take
corner.
a shot at... which one did you Eldritch Blast? Oh, you...
That
Yes.
one.
Didn't hit.
The one in
Didn't hit
front.
that one.
One of them got hit by something, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No,
No.
not
Then I
really,
just,
no.
you know what,
Oh.
focusing
Taking
this
it
one.
down.
Target has been designated. I take a shot at that one. Who did you bless, by the way?
You
Everyone
should.
but Richard.
Everyone but Richard.
If only that happened before you did the attack.
Attack rolls and saving throws, right? Yeah.
So that's 11 with the magic
Plus-
arrow.
D4.
Plus D4. Fuck's sake.
It's just
Well-
so close to hitting. So close.
It was
They're
real
half
close.
left
Well,
12 AC, guys, come on.
Very close.
Well, goodbye, boys.
It was like good knowing
It's
you.
a
Nice
bad
knowing
Roll
you.
the fucking.
Yeah, the rolling is not going well so far.
Do you know your turn? The other
Could
one
easily have dropped one. We've missed 3
And I
times.
come here saying the adventurers are trying their best, but the attacks do not seem to be working quite yet.
Okay, that one seems to be cursed. I throw my I move forward. Javelin. This one.
You move forward. Where are you going?
I'll move afterwards. I do my attack
So you
roll.
throw a javelin. Or...
Yeah, I throw the javelin. Yeah.
Javelin's a piercing
That's-
weapon.
That's
Yes.
Yep, that hits. Roll damage. 5 piercing. Okay.
Got him.
2
I
damage.
stand next to.
Do you see these guys' HP, by the way?
No.
No.
Not the bar even. Okay.
Nope. I stand next to Kamenas. I just give him like a nod. Yeah, we got this.
Thunder Bros.
Let's see if you survive the
The onslaught.
5, 6, 7, 8 enemies in front of you.
Okay. Ackerman, what's your turn again?
Alright. Yeah, I will slam my trident down, cry out in a primal yell, and rage.
It's like
Whoa.
the trident's going berserk. Whatever next.
Yeah, I know. Whoa, what I'll do as part of my rage, I'll swing off my dirty rag and reveal my bulging muscles. My still glistening muscles, I'm sure. And I will step forward and attack.
Which one?
Which
I'm,
one?
I'm sure.
The
someone
one in
will
front of moi.
Okay.
That is America's ass.
18?
You hit.
How do I do damage?
Just click it.
Just click on the.
Like on the thing. 9 damage. Plus
Nice,
2
nice.
rage
You
damage.
Hefty chunk. Plus 2 rage.
Yes.
Daily
There.
standing.
You could set that
Daily
up.
standing.
Sorry?
That's a slashing weapon, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Trying to slash him?
Well, I don't.
Interesting.
No, they are vulnerable to bludgeoning. But that's it.
Yeah, but like piercing would make sense to me.
Piercing
Oh yeah,
is-
it's piercing. Yeah, let's say it's
Piercing is normal.
piercing makes sense, right?
But are they
For tridents?
vulnerable?
Yeah,
to
usually you stab with a trident.
Oh
Shit.
yeah.
Let
yeah.
me-
That's
Sort of a pitchforky motion.
Piercing. It does the same either way. As long as it's not bludgeoning. Okay.
Okay.
Skeleton. The one in front. Oh no, not the one in front of you. This one.
But I have a Warhammer, boys.
Moves up
Nice.
to you, Zeno.
Motherfucker!
Attempts to stab at you with his short sword
Bitch.
and hits
Oh,
for 5 damage.
Ugh.
Uh,
But.
but
As I get stabbed,
Mm.
I say, bad move, motherfucker.
That doesn't sound like Zeno.
No, it's like, you're gonna regret that. And my eyes go blue and lightning strikes back. No, well, thunder strikes back.
Whoa,
at
the
the,
Furbolg is made of electricity!
Wait, so it hits by sound? Is that what you're saying?
No,
It's
it's like
like very, like,
it's demonic retribution, but it's not actually demonic. So.
Oh,
Yes, it's my Wrath of the Storm.
Okay.
ooh,
Oh,
Oh no, it's that one. It's not. I thought it. Sorry, I thought it was the spell thing.
What happens?
No, it's a Tempest
Yeah.
Cleric thingy.
Oh, awesome.
It needs to take. Does a dexterity saving throw. Please.
Can you link it, or?
13.
I didn't actually set this up.
If only he set it up in his sheet.
13, Tom.
That's one thing I forgot to set up, which is exactly fucking right, motherfucker. Roll 2d8.
Wait, it takes half or
Wow, it takes fucking 3 damage.
Two.
Two
It's,
damage.
Three damage.
Nice, right.
Okay, it's a good
Bad move, motherfucker.
You
yeah.
regretted that for sure.
He did, yeah. Damn it. It's like
You gotta roll
bad.
concentration on your bless as well.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
DC 10 Constitution save.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh,
that bless goes
We
away.
suck, guys. We
Bless goes
suck.
away.
So I'm running the next module, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why I said they would not let you die. The skeleton in front of Alcamenos swings at you. 8 misses, I assume.
Misses.
Nice.
Misses.
Nice.
It's pretty impressive it I hit, to be honest.
This zombie in the back is kind of like scrabbling to get around. And
Well,
easily
there's
does.
only so many spaces, so.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
only be
and
so
it attacks you.
surrounded.
It attacks you, Alcamenos, was like you're, you know, kind of you're the intimidating one.
I can only be so surrounded.
Okay. 13.
Misses.
Nice.
Oof.
Okay. Richard, your turn.
Okay.
I'm holding them up, boys.
Nice.
This one looked pretty hurt, right? And
The one in front of Alcamenos basically dead, yeah.
and that one, and it hasn't acted yet, right?
It has acted.
It acted like 20 something.
Hmm. It will act again, so I will attack that with Eldritch Blast.
Wait, that this one?
Oh,
This
they're
one is
barely.
almost dead.
They're almost.
The
Yeah.
one that's almost dead. That is not down. It's the one right in front of Alcamenos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a hit.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage. Yeah, that one crumples to the ground.
Okay, we.
Richard with the first kill of the campaign, boys.
It's like, and they take down one of the skeletons. The crowd's like, ah! As you know,
It
you
counts
should-
as a kill if it's undead, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you do anything? Do you move or just stay there?
I will.
Maybe they're finally getting into the swing of it.
I will go over here. Wait.
Okay.
How far away? Yep, I'm go over there.
Okay. These well, this one at least, it's kind of like you know, those ones already, you know, destroyed by fence. It runs over towards you, Chris, and gets there.
Whoa! Move so far.
Yeah. And then this one is it does come to Alcamenos, but against attack him, and rolls to hit.
You're getting surrounded. there,
Misses.
This one is starting to. It's like there's too many people there, and it runs over towards you.
Hmm.
And this one in front attacks you, Alcamenos.
Attempts to.
Yeah, attempts to. 18.
Damn,
8
it
damage.
is. It's
You have
reduced to 4,
resistance,
right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Sky, your turn. There's one skeleton in front of you. Mano e mano.
Oh, How strong is a single skeleton?
Oh, wait, that's set up. What, I'm an idiot. I did set that thing up. Oh my god.
Let's go for a bit of scimitar action. You know, I can take a skeleton. It's just a
Of course
skeleton.
you can. Of course you can. It could be you, just dead.
It's just a skeleton.
Okay.
So yeah, I draw my scimitars as my bow goes on the ground somewhere, and wha-pow!
Slash.
Yeah, that hits. More damage.
Nice.
Nice.
A 6.
Yeah, you do a good job.
Nice.
And wha-pow!
Oh, you have 2 scimitars.
I do have 2
Yeah.
scimitars,
Yeah,
yes.
scimitars, yeah.
Okay, roll again.
Oh,
damage.
hey!
Wow.
Oh.
It is barely standing.
Oh, come
That's
on.
my least favorite kind of standing.
It's
This
you're gonna get
skeleton-
stabbed next
When
turn.
you like draw scimitars, it also runs towards you.
You can handle 2 skeletons, right?
One was no fault. Zeno, your turn.
I smashed my warhammer into the skeleton.
The skeleton.
Nice.
Okay, roll the hit.
Skeleton next to me.
Yeah, the one that attacks you. Okay, that hits.
14.
Roll damage.
11.
11. Wow, you just destroy it in one. Oh, it's bludgeoning it. Well, oh, it's. I mean, even if it was slashing, you feel like you would have destroyed it with that mighty swing. It crumples to the ground in a pile of bones. And it's like, ah! A lightning furball strikes another down.
And-
Skeleton's
and-
destroyed.
As a bonus action, I use this.
Hidden step.
I turn invisible.
What? That's OP.
I wanted to heal you, Tom. How am I supposed to do that now?
You can heal the other guy.
He's no longer so urgently in need of healing, I suppose.
This zombie comes to join the fight against Okomennos.
Bring it, baby.
You can only be so
Mental.
surrounded.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah.
At least you're resistant.
This next one is like, you're pretty full, so it's gonna run on down to can run like that, and then yeah, it can end up there. Okay, to Richard. Okomennos, your turn. You're
Alright.
side on all sides, and
Yeah, I'm
and
like-
disappeared.
I'm just like twirling my trident, trying to keep them all up, but like any hits in.
He's like,
Gladiator Triton is surrounded. What will he do next?
Are any of the zombies hit yet? They haven't.
No.
right? Okay, I will hit this one then.
okay, I will say the skeleton has been hit. But
Okay.
yeah.
Like a decent amount.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
Okay, I'll focus that one then.
Mhm.
Just in a hope to just get their numbers down.
Yeah, yeah.
Bam.
Get him, bitch. Get him, boy.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah,
10 damage
that's just
total?
killed. That crushes it. You like stab up, and the skull goes flying.
Yeah, I'll just like do like a.
He's surrounded, but he's not down yet. Oh.
I do like as if I have a shovel. I just like collect all the bones like in the rib cage and like and just crushes it.
Yeah, the crowd's very excited about it. But the zombie next to you is like, rah!
Yeah.
10 misses, alright?
Misses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, your turn.
Okay, so
Stay
I
surrounded,
dodge,
buddy.
I dodge,
Mhm.
and then I will cast.
Dodging is an
Healing
action,
Light.
my friend.
Yeah, but healing
Yeah,
word
but
is a
healing
bonus
light
action.
is a bonus action.
Oh, okay. Okay. Casting doesn't follow class.
No.
Let's see here. Yeah. How do I? There we go. That's a...
Okay. Yeah.
So I heal him on this.
Okay. Well, it was 1 plus your wall up there, I would say, so you could do 2.
Yeah, I could do 2d6.
Okay, but you want to do 1d6? Okay, yeah. Roll.
Yeah. Wait.
It's better than healing word.
1. Yeah, better than healing word. You're right. Doesn't get the modifier, but better than healing word. Yep.
It hurts.
It
You
doesn't
get
get the modifier. I
fire
see.
A whole shiny HP for yourself. It's a lot when you're level 1, you know.
This really hurt skeleton. Striking at you there, Sky.
Yeah, but it better not fucking hit. No, I'm not.
13?
Misses, right?
14! Yes!
You barely deflected, like, ah!
Oh my god. Wait, what's that? Oh, my dex is good. Yeah, and I have armor. Oh, thank god I wore my armor.
Zombie to your left attacks you,
Right.
Okomennos.
That
23 for
hits.
5, so 2 damage.
Only 2 damage though. Right?
2. Okay.
Yeah, 2 damage.
You
Sky,
can
the one
take
next to you
this out.
attacks, but you're dodging, right?
Yeah, but Sky? No.
No,
Yes,
no.
Richard.
Yeah, I'm
Richard, yeah.
dodging.
So this.
Oh wait, no, wait. That was a short sword attack I did, which actually is an extra. Oh, it doesn't matter. You would have got hit anyway. But it would have done. It does 1 the damage, but that's a d6 plus 2, not d6 plus 1. But you take 2 anyway, but you halved it. Nice.
Hey.
Doesn't matter. The zombie on you. You're dodging, so that misses anyway. Sky, your turn.
Okay.
It's surrounded there, buddy.
Guys?
Look at what's in there.
I sort of say, guys?
You just see everybody else just
I'm
getting
going
fucked.
to,
This one is like so low.
can you do your offhand attack before your main hand attack?
No, I don't believe so.
Risk
you
it,
can-
Chris.
I'll double check for you, but I'm pretty sure no.
I don't see why not, to be honest.
No, because after you attack, you
Yeah.
bonus
Oh,
action.
okay.
But
so
that's
they're-
why it does that damage, is because you spend motion energy on it first.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just using your weak hand, you know. But yeah,
Oh.
no. Okay, no. I'll fucking fuck it. I'll just attack the one right in front of me, both like the one that's weak with the first attack.
Yeah, okay, roll it.
Wasteful or not.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Full damage. Yeah, it easily crumples down.
Okay. And
It's
then
like the cat takes down one and again. The skeletons are dropping like flies.
Wait, this is the last attack skeleton, guys. You already killed 4.
Yeah.
You got this.
Don't fucking jinx us, Tom.
Are you offhanding or what are you doing?
yeah, I'll offhand this one. I'm
Okay.
thinking about stuff. Yeah, I'll offhand this stuff.
It hits.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Swing it.
Not bad.
It's
Oh,
a
I
pretty
should-
good
and-
swing. Like they're cat knows what they're doing with those scimitars.
I didn't even practice with these things. I'm hiding it. I was like hiding in the corner trying to shoot a bow, man.
Alright, the skeleton next to you that you just attacked tries to swing at you with its own short sword.
Short sword.
Oh, but you're too fast for it to see. You're dodging and diving all over the place. Like,
4 after
the moves
images.
on that tabaxi, and you hear all, like loads of tabaxi go on the crowd. Go like, go on, brother! You know your turn? You stop being invisible.
Yeah, I appear invisibility and attack.
Okay, roll that.
Attack the
Zombie in front of you.
zombie in front of me. Yeah. Do I get advantage because it's appeared earlier, or?
But it appeared at the start of your turn, right?
Yeah, I mean, it still
Yeah,
doesn't
but like
matter.
it's because you become.
Nah, but you didn't like
someone
move or
else.
shit. If you like moved and changed location, sure, but now.
Yeah, I moved.
You
I
did?
moved the square to the right.
He was here before.
Okay,
Besides-
fine, then fine. Good enough. It's anywhere the zombie. Zombies, like, you know, they're like bags of meat.
You have like 8 AC or something, right?
Yeah, 80.
Yeah. It's...
Oh my god, that's...
6, okay, you do 6 damage to it. You know, it
Bam.
chugs
Even
it off.
I
These
could
things
hit
seem
them.
like they're easy to hit, but you know, they're just
Yeah,
satisfying.
tanky.
They're gonna take it back.
Yeah.
Okay, is that your turn? Why is it?
That is my turn.
Okay. The zombie in front continues swinging you out, Commandos. 17 for 1 damage.
Okay.
It's pretty good though. Okay, you and then you Sky.
echoes that healing spell.
Richard, you have dodge still going, yeah?
Yeah, I've still dodged. Still dodging.
So 5
Oh.
misses.
It doesn't matter.
Alcamendos, your turn. You see
All
now
right.
Xeno's return to aid you in this glorious battle. And you know, like, that verbal came out of nowhere!
I want to do like a swipe with my trident, like with the spiky part, and like just at the neck, just try and cut his head off.
It's gonna be slashing damage, huh?
I don't know if that matters, but
Fuck.
Hence why I'm allowing it.
okay.
I could use my tabaxi double move
It's-
to like come flying out of the fog with a knife and stab
that's
the
how
undead
I
dude in
did
the
it.
back. Yeah, exactly.
9 damage.
9 damage, okay, you do a good chunk, Okay, that's your turn.
That is my turn.
Okay. This zombie turns and hits you, Xeno, after you ever
Damn,
try to
Stu.
slam in his back.
For fuck's
8
sake.
damage he has brought down, and the crowd is like, ah! It's like that Fergal came out of nowhere, and he's going back to nowhere! Because you like fall to the ground.
Still getting. Dex say he's still getting.
Dex
He's
save,
getting
Dex
hit by
save,
the
Dex save.
lightning.
Oh,
5.
12.
12 damage. It's like he goes down, but it's at a mighty price. Look at the lightning roar. Yeah, but he falls, and the crowd's like, ah!
The zombie's still up? What the fuck?
Yeah, zombie still up.
Jesus.
Richard, your turn. You see Xeno fall to the
I
ground.
dodge and healing light.
Beautiful. Well, this guy knows the play. Alright, roll that d6.
1d6.
One average. Okay.
4.
The crowd's like, and like they see like the crowd sees his eyes open, or there's like energy's like, but as soon as he's down, he's back up again. Can anything keep that furball down?
Looks like Xeno's joining the zombies.
Okay, and this zombie next to you continues attacking you. Calcumendos. 6 misses.
Misses. Okay, cool.
Okay, and this one attacks you, but you're dodging, so misses and.
What
Alright,
are
Sky,
these
your
hits
turn.
on me?
Okay.
Shit.
Let's go. 1, 2.
Bam bam. Okay, that hits.
Fucking 15s, man.
I'm taking 10 on his attack rolls.
Okay, it's very low.
Oh,
It's barely alive, but you
no! The sadness.
and it attacks you.
He crits you back.
He's gonna.
Ooh, 11.
No!
No.
Misses. You're too fast for it. And, your turn. You have been brought back by some holy light. You're like,
I just like give Richard a look, give Richard a nod, and smack the.
Roll hit.
I'll stand up first, I hope.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did
of
it.
course, it's
Yeah.
fine.
More damage.
7.
Yeah, you knock it to the ground, you cave its head in. And the crowd's like, he can't be kept down! Look at him get up and crushing its mate!
Okay, out of
The crowd's
nowhere.
going crazy, what a spectacle.
Dude, the fucking action economy swinging 1 ton at a time. It's happening, guys. The dream.
We do it.
That's your turn. The zombie in front of that Mendoza. So they keep slamming into you.
I'm gonna
And you
move,
just
like,
keep
around
oh,
here.
okay. And you just keep holding it off, and the crowd's like, how long can he take the onslaught? And then it keeps saying it, but it's only for 1 damage.
Not much longer.
Attacks do nothing to it, his muscle. He simply bounced off his skin. One of them tries to attack you.
There's like
Richard.
there's a scene.
Disadvantage it misses.
Yeah, it misses.
There's like one particular thing that's always stuck with me in Man of Steel, like early on in the film when he's like in a truck stop or something, and a guy like tries to shove him in the chest, and then like he's shoved against the wall and just like staggers backwards. It's like that's how I'm just imagining this. Like the zombie just comes and slams. Just, like, bounces off.
Your turn.
Alright, these two haven't been headshot. But I see Xeno like flanking around.
Yeah.
So my instincts, back tactics. You mean this one?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean I was gonna hit that one anyway. So I'll
You hit that one for good chunk.
bam.
Okay, that hits, yeah. More damage.
So many 15s, Jesus Christ, guys.
For 11.
Ooh, 11. You almost do a huge knock in the chest and like stumbles backwards, but still standing.
Alright, and
And the crowd is like, oh my god, they're turning the tide. The undead are starting to fall.
I'm
And,
considering
like,
that one is dead.
Look
I'm
at
just
that guy. He's just standing there
Inside
after letting
the
the
phone,
two zombies
it's
attack
fine.
him. He's crazy.
I'm turning over to
Okay,
this guy.
Richard, your turn.
Oh, you don't have to.
Now
You don't
if
have to
I-
heal anyone this time.
If I
Well,
remember this correctly,
well.
as long as I don't move out of their like area of
Yeah, yeah.
influence, I don't get attack opportunity.
Two.
Yeah.
So I can dodge and like go here.
How do you
Without
get
getting-
there?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can.
Yeah.
Go,
It's
no, you
difficult
can't go
terrain,
through
right?
any
You
spaces.
can't go through. One of them
You can only go through two.
provoke.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're being you're being blocked.
You can only move like 1 space to the left. Anywhere else, like leaves the zone.
Yeah.
This is some left and right
Yeah,
jumps.
I'm just gonna fucking dodge then. And I'm gonna
Dodge. Okay.
hold. Yeah, I'm gonna hold them here. I'm holding the line.
Okay. Dodge. You do dodge, and that's it. Okay.
Yep.
The zombie next to Alcamendos takes another slam at him. Misses.
Miss.
You suck.
No, what was this?
The zombie attacks you, Richard, and
Ooh.
hits 5 damage. And like the crowd's like, oh, they got a strike on him. Ah, he
Down to
can be
4.
hit. Ah.
He can't be.
Guy, your turn.
I guess I'm attacking this one.
Killing him, you mean?
Sweet.
Yes, exactly. Let's go.
Nope.
Ah!
We got the offhand attack.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, you just managed to bring it down.
Thank fucking god. Okay, so like Sky
And
is,
then,
is,
like-
is fully I'm just like, he's like kind of losing his mind a little bit. He's like, yeah!
And the crowd's like, oh, he single-handedly took down 2 skeletons.
And I like,
His cat got
I do have like the presence of mind to like drop my scimitars and pick up my bow though at the end of my turn.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay, Zeno, your turn. You are behind that boy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with my warhammer.
Yeah.
Smack him on the head.
Yeah, you could just go right down top of the head, smashes it into the ground.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stand behind this one.
Nice.
We doing it.
Okay, zombie is attacking you, Richard. Misses. Ackerman, it's your turn. You guys, either side of him now. Tag teaming him.
Just the way I like it.
Fucking
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I've missed here.
11 AC.
Oh, you
11 AC. Jeez.
Okay, you hit it. Not the hardest swing, but still.
You know, kind of getting tired.
I mean, by the way, I'm not being counting rage, but I'm assuming it's going to be way less than 10 turns. But like,
Yeah, it's been like 3 rounds, I think.
Yeah.
With me raging.
3.
4.
Yeah, I was
3
trying
or
to
4.
best earlier, but that ended.
It's like a late.
First round,
it's not
first round I
good.
took a
It's not
shot.
good.
Second round I attacked. Yeah, it's been 4 rounds so.
Okay,
so-
Richard, your turn.
I'm disengaging,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going over here.
It's like,
They've got Richard on the run. He doesn't fancy your chances any longer.
I don't like being here anymore.
this one is attacking.
Don't worry about it. I can cure
You're
life
supposed-
wounds. I can
You
cure
just-
wounds. Don't worry about it.
That
He's
as
gonna
well.
attack you, Akmenos, but you just attacked him.
Yeah, okay.
19 for 6, so
Hits.
half.
Mm-hmm.
And feels like he takes another blow, but yet he still stands. Ah.
Like, but this one I'm like, no, I'm at 2. But this one I'm like I'm getting punched in the stomach and you see like blood. So
He still stands.
but I'm like, I can do this all day, you know.
This one runs towards you because it can win silver attack and then attacks you there. Zeno,
Okay.
12.
Nope.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool, cool.
nice.
Flex him with my shield.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Sky, your turn.
You mute us.
You're muted. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, who's this fucking guy on 11 going before me, even though I'm a player?
Wait,
What's
what?
this?
Oh, my bad.
Very
matter.
rude. Doesn't matter.
Told you to.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea which of them are wounded, and I don't like have it. I just shoot at this one. It's the one that's near the most people.
Okay, yeah.
Magic arrow, go!
That hits.
Oh yeah, there's the fucking zombie. I
It's a
forgot. about
zombie, you know, fucking
But why do you
whatever.
have 2 more and then 2 proficiency? Where you?
Because fighting style.
Oh, okay. 10 damage, nice. You do like a good chunk.
11 damage. It's a
11
magic
damage, wow. And it's like, look at the arrow fly.
Arrow. Look at the arrow fly. Does it look magical? Dude, I can pretend I'm already like an arcane archer.
Ooh. Yeah, it looks.
I'm like
there's
living
a
the
little,
fantasy.
There's a little glow behind as it flies, you know. Chase a bullet. Do you know your turn?
Okay, yeah. I turn towards the one that attacked me on the side, and I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds on him.
Okay.
I double moved to that, by the way, on my.
Doesn't
Okay.
that do necrotic damage?
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but
I mean, yeah, that hits.
pretty sick.
I'm gonna double check it.
Yeah, no, it does. They have no.
It's fine, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it
have
is.
no-
Weird,
no-
weird but true.
Only the
16
fence.
damage. Wait, to the one that just attacked you, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
This
still
one.
up.
Damn.
Okay, it's this one's turn. It's running at. Can it reach? Yeah, it's gonna keep chasing Richard. It runs there and attacks Richard.
Come on, man.
10?
Miss it.
It misses.
It's like, look at the little mad dog.
This is literally the opposite of Strahd.
How commendable. Yeah,
Nothing can hit Potchman.
You guys won't have
Nothing.
that'd be too many.
Okay,
All I'm
so,
saying is I'm glad there weren't 2 ghouls, okay?
so this one is fucked up.
Yeah.
This one is hit, but not that
That's fucked. That's
badly.
more fucked up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
that-
fucked.
Okay, and that's. I'll try and finish it off with that mighty yell. Okay.
Yeah.
You hit.
It's a good thing that you only have 8 AC.
And you
Nine?
guys, you smash it into the ground.
And the crowd's like, oh, there's only 2 left. Oh, that hurts, but they're still going.
And I will
Okay.
move here, try and like protect Richard.
Okay. I will cast Cure Wounds
On yourself?
for 5. No, on him.
Okay.
On
You lovely boy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your turn, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, this zombie continues attacking Xeno.
Oh, well, attack. Never mind.
You...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, I'll reroll this attack next turn, Chris. You go first. Alright, he
No.
misses you, Xeno, and then sorry.
Vaguely affects who I was going to attack. But whatever. Now that I know he misses, I can attack this guy.
Alright, roll it.
Magic arrow, fly
Yep.
Oof. Barely one.
for 10 damage.
Nice, nice.
Damn.
Big shot, big shot. Xeno, your turn. This
I
one's failed for
smashed.
you.
I smashed
You're
the
like,
one.
I can do better, boy.
Bam.
Oh yeah, you do.
Bam.
Smash him into the ground whence he came.
Alright.
Crowd's like, just run left! Can they do it? It looked hopeless at one point. And then the zombie,
Please.
I like move next to it.
the
Can
zombie
I-
attacks
can I-
Richard.
No, but can I do like an intimidate or persuasion to have him
It's
attack
on
me?
your turn, Jacko, my friend.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Richard. 9. It misses. You cannot be touched. You cannot be touched. It's just like
Jesus
rolling at you, and you
fucking
guys are now surrounding it, vice
Dude,
versa.
something's weird has happened. It's tomorrow morning we're getting blessed by the gods. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay, that's your turn.
I will see how the tides have turned. I get it because I'm from the sea. I let out a mighty yell like roar and like try and finish it
Nice.
with another one. Yeah, that's not a one.
No damage.
For 11.
It is 1 HP. It is barely standing. You like cut off half its limbs. It basically, just like standing on one leg, like kind of grasping as you two. And Richard, it's your turn.
I
the
wish I
crowd's
could.
like, yeah, they've got
I
it.
only have a +2 to attack.
You only have 8
They only have
HP.
8 AC. You got this, Patrick. You got
Yeah, the
this.
odds are in your
Sure.
favor.
He's got it.
You got
Richard.
this.
Because Eldritch Blast is ranged, right?
Yeah,
be
it doesn't
disadvantage.
advantage.
It would be disadvantage.
Yeah. So I would. I
Hit it with the
attack
javelin?
opportunity with Eldritch Blast.
No, I spear.
Okay, all good.
8 damage.
Yeah, that just hits, and you stab it in the chest, and it falls backwards. And the crowd all on their feet shouting their appreciation. And the crowd's like, and they've done it! The plucky band of adventurers have won the bout! Oh! And the crowd goes wild. And
I rush up with Tabaxi speed, like, oh my god, that was amazing! Guys, what the hell? How did we do that? Oh my god, you're also wounded.
As soon
You're like untouched. You're like, I couldn't touch you.
as soon as the battle finishes, I'm just like back to a calm, serene self. I'm like, and yeah,
What?
well,
What?
not
It is.
Yes, he is a pretty calm.
well,
serene guy.
restraints,
calm, he's
restraints.
calm.
Let's say restraint.
He's
and
very,
be like,
very purposeful and calm.
yeah,
He's-
yeah.
Yeah, and like, the crowd is all on their feet clapping and shouting, and like, you guys
Yeah, I'll
singing
turn to
about-
everyone and say like, well,
I
folks.
extend my hand to Richard. Thank you.
Oh yeah, like having said that to you guys, where you guys like picking at your wounds, I turn around to the crowd like, yeah! Woo!
And the comment is like, everyone give a hand to these 4 Alcamenos champion of the Triton. He kind of like, assembly! Looks to his friend next to him, is like, I think that's it. And, Richard, Zeno, and Sky full of stars! Woo! And, the
I'll
crowd
slowly
goes
raise my
wild,
trident
and it's
again.
like, we wish them much hope in their coming adventures! And then,
I like remember my scimitars.
and then like the portico behind you opens up and like a guy shouts, "Come on, when you're ready!" And like
Yeah,
kinda
we
after
I
you
walk out.
wave to the crowd or whatever. And yeah, you guys head in, and the guy, the guy in charge of you is like, "A very good fight, well done. You really kept up the intensity, and it looked very close at a certain point. Well,
I fought 2 skeletons!
yeah,
Kind of
you
like-
did. Well done. It was very theatrical.
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 Theatrical. I was like, that is theatrical. Was the right word. But yeah, it's excellent work. Excellent work. Well done. It's like there's a room back there if you wish to just, I know sometimes after a fight you just need a bit to recover. There's a room you can just rest in.
Is there a bench to lie down on?
Yeah, there is.
I go and lie down
Okay,
on the
so you
bench.
kind of, you know, like each like a room where it's got like some seats and, you know, some like just
Yeah.
water and some basically food that they would feed to like the gladiators afterwards.
Yeah,
Where
I'll
they
just
sit on seats.
as Sky lays down, I'll just stand next to him, just like casually standing there, as if just another day.
Problem, you know, another round, boys.
Yeah.
I was lying there staring at the ceiling, like panting, like.
So you guys, after like I don't know, like 10-15 minutes, you're just like kind of hanging out. Like you're in the room, and then at the door like comes in a kidnapper, and she kind of like looks at you, and she's like, "That was an excellent fight, my friend. You did." She like looks at you. You did even better than I had hoped.
My God, that was amazing. Got any more canoes?
You kind of chuckle, and she's like, "If you need it, but if you're interested in a permanent position in this arena, I'm sure we could arrange something."
He's got a taste for battle, but we can use him on our mission.
Of course, of course. Well, perhaps after you return, you will be even stronger and ready to take on more foes. But I am much impressed. Well done, well done. That was quite a spectacle, and I'm sure the book takers made much money tonight.
I'm sure my companions.
Wait a minute, I say, you mean people are betting against us?
He kind of moves on. It's like, it is a token of my appreciation. After all, I had only assumed to give you a canoe for covering just one gladiator, but as you own 4, please take this as a small token of my appreciation. And she hands you a pouch, and it's, I mean, you can find later, but it's another 50 gold.
I suppose-
Ooh, that's some.
I
And she's
suppose-
Two
like,
canoes.
So instead of paying 50 gold for a canoe, we got a canoe and 50 gold.
Exactly,
Value.
exactly.
I
We
give
didn't
everyone
even
12 and a
buy.
half gold. Well, anyway, someone doesn't take gold, right? Fireball doesn't take.
I'm not gonna take
But like your share is 12 and a half, and,
Yeah.
and Thingy carries your share, right?
Richard, I guess.
Richard
Yeah.
carries your
Well,
share.
I have my money now, though. The
Oh,
money
do you?
I gave to Richard.
He never get.
Okay.
Like,
So you
because
don't
I
want your
paid.
12 and a half? Are you sure the math gets annoying if it's not?
Doesn't matter. You guys figure it out. And she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a pleasure doing
I'll-
business with you. You
yeah,
are,
the extra. 'Cause-
you're quite the interesting individuals. I'm sure you will do excellent work on your adventures.
Thank you. We will be sure to keep you in this arena in mind for. in the
We're gonna return when we're level 11.
future.
Yes. Yeah, maybe an evening indoors drinking and celebrating is in order.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure you'll deserve a great
Like,
night.
kind of calming down a little bit now. It's been 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Your rage has ended.
She's like, well, have a pleasant evening. And this was a very interesting and enjoyable experience to have met you all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Likewise.
she's like, oh, and also, Sky, remember to return the arrows, please.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you can give it to one of the.
Oh, you got special
gladiators.
arrows for the fight?
Yeah,
That's
I
one
got
of
them.
magic
He
He
arrows.
was like, she was like, he was like, oh, she was like, you season fight, and he was like, I'm an anthropologist. She felt very sorry. But kind of like, yeah, she gives you good night, and you know, leave from the door she came from. Yeah.
And once
you
she
guys can
leaves,
just-
I say to the party, "Well fought, my brothers. I have faith in our battles to come."
Well, fuck.
That was amazing, Archaeologist. They just kept hitting you, and you just kept standing there. You truly are a mighty warrior.
My thanks. When I promised to protect you, I did not speak a lie.
He's like thinking about the skeletons in front of you, like.
Let's keep it realistic, okay?
Had to dodge like 8 attacks from zombies. Like,
Let's keep it realistic.
I got attacked like 4 times, and like got hit 3 times with 18 AC.
Fucking 18 AC.
and I got hit what?
No, I got hit 2 times with 18 AC. You got hit like a million times to 11. And...
Well, shall we go and celebrate then?
Yes.
Wait, Tom, you have 18 basic, like 18.
Got like a
AC.
shield.
Yeah, I have a
Sorry,
shield.
which building is the Colosseum?
I have a
It's,
chainmail.
You're
very close to me.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. So, like, if I wanted to celebrate, like, if with revelers, who like people who've been in the audience, like, they'd likely be in the area, probably.
Yeah,
at
they'd
the-
probably be around the bazaar. Like,
Sweet,
there's
okay.
like yours and Ibn
Nice.
at other bars, but like even the
Awesome.
Summoning Lizard would
Yeah,
definitely be.
but
Like,
like there'll be people there who would have just seen the fights.
Definitely,
like,
yeah,
in
yeah.
this-
oh, they might.
Free
support you,
drinks,
but they
boys.
definitely
Let's
join.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm milking it for all it's worth.
Yeah,
we-
yeah, you get
we
lots of people
collectively.
interested, and a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
people
yeah.
buy. Yeah, you don't have to pay drinks for this evening. I'll put it that way. Like,
Nice. Oh, well, what I should
Exactly.
do is I should subtract gold for the, or whatever. How much
Oh,
do
for
the rooms
room
cost?
in. 1 second.
5 silver?
Yeah, it was quite cheap. This is 5 silver each. So 10 silver total. So 1 gold.
10 silver totals, great.
Yeah,
I pay 1 gold piece.
Yeah, and you go having drinks. Everyone's asking about the fight. Like, oh, where'd you learn a fight like that? Oh, it was amazing.
I'm like, I'm. It's not so much that Sky's lying, is that he's coming up with justifications after the fact as to where he learned things from. So he's like talking about his time with the goblins and watching them fight, and it's not really true that he learned to fight from them, but it's kind of he feels like it was now. So yeah,
Excellent. Okay.
telling everyone about
That's good, yeah. And so you have like a great evening. Everyone's like, laughing and talking and like saying, "Oh, you gotta come back tomorrow. Do it again. I'll put money on you this time."
There's like a there's like a pang of like, I did kind of tell Lady Sylvain we were leaving today. I hope she didn't come along with
We're leaving to save your life later that day. 4 brave adventures. Take on royal combat.
Well, if she asks, we can explain. Anyway, yeah, it's like a momentary thought that gets washed away by the tide of euphoria.
Okay, and you guys all have like a great night. You're all just like drinking and just hanging out with like each other and the locals, right? I mean, it's and like.
Yeah.
You're also like taking part, right? You're not.
I guess at some point I go over and ask Azaka if she wants to like come and join in or like participate in the goodwill. I know like there's clearly some reason she's chosen the less rowdy inn, but I'll go and make the offer.
She kind of joins you for like maybe like an hour or something.
Okay,
she drops enthusiasm.
Excellent.
Yeah, and
Exactly. She makes an appearance.
in Triton society, it's definitely an important part after the battle to like drink together, share stories. It's almost like another ritual. So he takes it seriously. He's like drinking, and yeah, he's into it.
It's like someone's trying to tell their story without having a drink first, and you're like grabbing their hand, like, how dare
Wait.
you must drink first.
We proceed. Yeah.
This is the order to the celebrations.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys all have like a great night, very enjoyable. Lots of new friends you won't remember in the morning, and it's a good time. You'll probably head to bed slightly later than you should, but
Probably. Head up the river tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you still do your like evening swim there? Alchemend, so you tired out. You've done your exercise today.
Let's do a constitution check real quick.
Oh yeah, for the alcohol and then being like almost killed.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, once the party's died down.
Everyone's heading up to your room. You're like, I'll take a quick dip and then head up.
Yeah, just to freshen up. Yep.
Richard wouldn't actually drink too much.
Whoa.
He would.
Okay.
He would kind of look like he.
Doing for the
fun
company
and whatnot, but he wouldn't actually drink all too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with you, Alchemond. Not for the actual swim. I'll just sit by the side. But like it like comes at a point in the evening where like I kind of want.
Fresh air,
yeah, exactly. I want to not be in like a massive excited crowd for a bit. So I walk with you to the.
Oh yeah.
You can watch my dirty rag.
Oh, so you guys will have a night out, then you do something where you kind of like go sit on the field, just like looking at the moonrise and like, oh boys, what a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I dive in, I point with my trident towards the east. I'm like, that is where I saw the giant turtle, and then I dive in. Wait, I thought it was like, okay, that's another thing.
The map is rotated. So
But yeah, I know. Yeah. You point out at a harbor.
Yeah. I'm not pointing towards the palace.
He dives in, and I say to the other two, "What a strange man."
I just like nod.
As you sit with a
Like,
fur
we
ball
got
and
like a wineskin or something between us that we've like brought along. It's like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Good shit.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you guys all have a great night and then all head to bed, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Next day arrives. People probably waking up slightly later than normal due to the copious amounts of alcohol. At least some of you, not necessarily like Richard and anyone else. But yeah, do people like wake up, head down for breakfast? Is everyone like waiting for each other, or people are planning to go to the temple right together?
Yeah. I'd be impatiently waiting for people.
Impatiently, sorry.
Yeah, like.
You're like you drank a lot, but somehow you don't care. It's like 6 a.m. Like, come on, boys.
Yeah.
How are you?
We've got a blessing to get.
We'll say by like 8, you've all made your way downstairs at various times and all gathered together once again.
Yeah.
Okay. You have breakfast, I'm assuming. Then do you go over to the other inn?
Yes. Well, no, we head on towards the temple first, right, guys? Or...
Yeah, temple first.
I think Chris
Or did-
Sky said you offered to Zaha, you would go get it before, right? And like bring it with for the blessing.
Yes, I did. So I'll do
Okay,
that
yeah,
before we head off.
Okay, so yeah, you did pop. They did wait, outside of Sunny Liz, and you did pop in and see Isaiah there. She's kind of waiting. She looks like she has all her stuff like kind of packed up as well. Like she's
Cool.
ready to like go.
Yeah, I think we all do as well. So
Yeah, I mean, you can just grab the canoe sometime when you have the bit of passage. You
Yeah.
don't play that, but you say you pick it up like when you're walking there, and you have like everything else you bought.
yes.
Things. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Kinda weird to
right,
grab 'em.
This is one thing I also forgot to bring up, but I'll bring up with the party as we're heading to the temple.
Mhm.
I'll bring up the charter of exploration or whatever it's called again. And I'll just say to the party, so there is this thing that someone mentioned we might want to get to not piss off the flaming fist. Exploration charter, that's right. But apparently it costs about 150 gold. So I figured if we're just careful while we're out there and try not to encounter any of the flaming fists, it really shouldn't be too much of a problem. But technically, from an absolutely legal perspective, it's something we should probably have before we go out there.
Oh,
So
shoot,
don't
my
let
bad.
anyone know we don't have
I'm
one.
gonna back from something. Just sorry. The charter's 50 gold, not 150. My bad.
Whoa,
Oh, that
Fifty
changes.
gold.
That
My
changes
bad. My
everything.
bad. I didn't want
Well,
to.
I still say that. I still say
a lot of
I don't think it changes how I phrase it. I say 50 gold, which is a lot of gold. So I figured if we're just careful not to encounter any of them while we're out there, we'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
Hmm. Still,
Also,
like,
you need to visit the fort, which is
Yeah, we'd
quite
have to
far.
go.
You
Also,
can't
yeah,
buy
we'd
it
have to
here.
travel all the way to Fort Dalen.
And that would
whatever it's
cost
called.
money and time.
Like it's a long way out of our way.
do they actually have real power on this island? Like authoritative power?
In a certain area, yes, it's technically their land, and although it is wild, they patrol it from what I understand. So if they come across us and demand to see our paperwork and we don't have it, it could be trouble. They could, confiscate belongings, probably to greater value than the charter was worth. But
Do we have belongings worth 50 gold?
another fair point. Yes, I mean I'd rather they didn't take my journal and so forth. But in terms of strict monetary value, it's not really of much yet.
Apart from,
I've only just started writing it.
Yeah.
Yes, they could take our canoe if they felt like carrying it off through the jungle, I suppose.
While I do not like the idea of invading the inhabitants who do not permit it, we have no business with them. They cannot.
Yes, I hardly
force
see
us.
what makes it their jungle. Good. Then we are of one mind.
Okay, cool. So you all said this as you were walking to the temple, right?
Well, I just
So,
said
like-
that. I'm not actually sure if we are of one mind. I just kind of declared it.
Yeah, of course. So you're walking there. It's probably between 8 and 9, and you arrive at temple about 9 o'clock. People, doing their morning prayers.
Yeah.
Who's kind of leading the way, I guess.
I'll lead the way. Just straight towards the priest's office.
The priest's
TP's
office, yeah, the room he was in, yes.
Yeah, the
Kicks
room he
the
was in
door.
yesterday with the desk. Yeah.
And the arguing.
Okay, yeah, he kind of enter.
Yeah. I enter and say, "Greetings."
Greetings. I was going to see you soon. Please come in. Shut the door if you wouldn't mind. It's a bit cramped, but you can all fit in the room.
Okay.
Yep.
It's he sees him. He's like, "These are all your companions."
Yes, we will head out swiftly.
I'm
Trusted
Sky.
friends, I hope. Hey, it's good to meet you. Kind of offers his hand. It's a Tembe.
Shake his hand. Nice to meet you, Zatembe.
Kind of looks like a bit sort of not depressed, but a bit melancholy, and he's he kind of make sure the door was locked. He's like, I did what you asked. I prayed to the gods. I asked to see if what could help you in your journey. He kind of he sighs. It's I saw visions of a city far, far to the south. It was enclosed by cliffs and crawling with snakes. There was a black obelisk draped in vines. I feel this is all. I was trying to see a vision of this, what you told me, this soulmonger. I believe it is somewhere within that city, but I could not look further. I could feel a kind of sound. He kind of sort of fade as a face looking back at me. I could not delve further into this area.
Yes,
It seems a place of great evil, but I believe that is what you seek. All I saw was far to south, cliffs, snakes. I cannot say more, I'm afraid.
An opposing evil is to be expected.
It
But
was powerful, very powerful. I would be wary.
Well, that's ominously terrifying, but thank you nevertheless. A city full of snakes to the south, eh, with a big black obelisk? Well, that
Yes.
we are heading south. That should narrow it down a little bit. Thank you very much. That's by far and away the best thing we've had yet to go on.
It's my pleasure, really. I only wish I could help you more, but let me at least give you the blessings of my god.
Glad.
And he he kind of just walks over each in turn, kind of makes you
My
like
man.
nod your head and does like a little prayer above each you in turn.
Do I feel any different?
Not immediately, no.
That's 5 to movement speed or something, you know? Like
Plus 5 to movement speed.
Once you start
yeah.
making
Wait,
death
wait,
saving
what?
throws, it'll come back.
I know this is because it's the god of divination, and divination's kind of do with this. You can all get inspiration to say like divination's kind of making your attack rules better. You know?
Oh, that's
it's
very
kinda
nice.
interesting.
Isn't it nice? It actually did something. Okay, and then like after he does the blessings, he's like, I really wish you great luck with your journey. If you can, hopefully, find this evil and eliminate it, you will be doing great good for all of Chult.
I thank you for your blessings, Altar Master. May you and your temple be safe.
Kind of nods. Is Savas be with you?
After we leave the room, I would do like go in a praying position by what are they called again?
Pews or
Pews,
altars. Or,
and
like, I don't know.
yeah, in front of an altar, like on my knee, and just thank the god again for guidance, whatnot, in celestial, and then I would walk out
Excellent.
and be
Excellent.
done.
Cool.
Oh my god, we're actually doing it, guys. We're leaving the city.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Man, it's awkward because I guess this is probably the best time when to like end, really, right?
Yep.
Before we actually
Yeah.
have to go. So, yeah, it's been almost 4 hours. Okay, great. So yeah, you guys head out there. You head towards the main gate. You buy your canoe. You have everything ready to roll. You have your rough, kind of like route planned out, and we'll call it there. Good session, guys.
Hey,
and you
nice.
do all level.
better fucking level. I was gonna say.
I mean, I would have made you level even if you didn't fight the thing.
Yeah, we get to level 3.
No, you do not get trophy. Man, that was a good fight. I'm surprised I randomly just chose a number and it was a really balanced yet hard fight. I mean, it could have ended incredibly easy.
Dude, welcome to my DMing, okay?
Now I take the escalator when I've got a perfectly good canoe.
But it could have just gone instantly over if you guys.
Yeah,
They just hit you. It's like if they hit any of you twice, you basically go down. Like Xeno got hit. Yeah, but yeah.
Unless you're
Smart.